man. Salute. What's good, man?
What's up? What's up?
Man, so look, man. Look, let me tell you this right here. I got a casual. I see you in the backstage. I'm gonna bring you up. Like, so for the last 2 years, not I wouldn't say like year and a half, 2 years. People have been saying that I slander Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really slander him. I just tell people the truth. And so it was funny because 2 months ago, I was doing a video on Hakeem and I was playing video of him. And I was like, y'all completely overrate the dream shake. I said, the dream shake is just a strong up fake that he just put a little extra. He just put a little extra on it to, it just looked nasty when he hit you with it. Mm-hmm. But it's no different than some guy just driving, stopping with 2 feet, strong up fake, get you in the air and you go finish. His just look nicer because he puts a little extra English on it. And so when I tell people this, it's just like, it's not that special. I said, you had a whole bunch of bad defenders of the 90s, right? Jumping at everything. Because now, I was telling them, they teach kids today, if you're the on-ball defender in the post, you're not supposed to be jumping.
Mm-hmm.
You let the help come go get that, right? I'm watching guys in the 90s, Chris Dudley and these guys, Hakeem throwing up these fakes. They jumping 5 and 6 times on one play. They chasing blocks. And it's just like, if I teach that to somebody today, like how effective is it going to be? I've been saying this. And then when your video came out, a lot of people get mad at you because you put the little entertainment value with it. I was dying when I saw it. I was dying. So, I mean, what is your thoughts on this 50K training? And like, what are your true thoughts? Because people say you were trolling. Some people don't know whether to believe you with it. How you feel about it, man?
Okay. Everyone thinks I'm saying Hakeem is trash, right? No, his price is trash. His price is trash. I don't give a shit like how decorated you are as a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
That success doesn't translate of you as a trainer, right? If our success is based on, like our today's success is based on our accolades, then why the fuck Jordan don't have 10 championships with the Charlotte Bobcats? Obviously, he don't know talent, right? His brain doesn't translate to how he views players. So with Hakeem has been training since I was in the NBA. So I've seen what he does. I've mimicked what he does. This is the problem with Hakeem. Well, not the problem with Hakeem. It is the problem with players who want to go to Hakeem. One, you have to understand who Hakeem was. He was a big man with guard-like skills, right? He wasn't a back to the basket, I'm posting you using brute strength. No, he was skilled, footwork, agile, speed, right? You can't teach that. You can't teach his speed. He can teach you his footwork, but his footwork works with his speed and his ability to be agile, which that was taught since he was little, playing soccer, growing up, soccer, right? Which he can't teach today.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach the big men your soccer background in fucking an hour, 30 minutes. See, that's the problem. When I say, hey, 50,000 for this shit, can't do it, right? So think about every single player that's ever went to Hakeem. Every big man failed. The only success stories he can try to use, which is still no. Kobe, 3-time champ already had footwork that he was learning from Michael Jordan. Then you're talking about Melo, another guard, right? Because think about where his moves is coming from. It's off the box, right before the logo, turning face, shimmying, using his speed around Shaquille O'Neal. So when people say, oh, he killed Shaq, what did he kill Shaq with?
Yeah.
Speed, up fakes, unders, like he's a guard. And that's what players that are going there, they're big men saying, hey, I need the footwork of Hakeem. Well, unfortunately, he can't teach you, and it shows through some of his videos, he can't teach you what he knows naturally. And that's the problem with superstars. Things that come natural for them, they don't know how to translate it in their teaching. They just know how to do it. So when I was making fun of the Amari and I'm like, travel, Hakeem can't see that. Because in his mind, you should already know how to do this correctly. So as soon as he traveled the first time, it's like, hold on, sir. No. This is how you do it. Make sure you stop. He's not breaking down and teaching. He's teaching these moves without any foundation. They don't have the foundation. He learned the skill and the footwork first, then his athleticism kicked in. They have the athleticism trying to learn the footwork. See, he can teach Jokic. He can teach that to Devin Booker, Kyrie, DeMar DeRozan. He can teach that to Luka. These guys have the footwork already. You're trying to teach this to Blake Griffin, JaVale McGee, Amari Stoudemire.
That's exactly what I said.
Their footwork won't match because they've been used to using their athleticism so much that they don't understand the basic of it. It's like a black quarterback, right? It's like Tom Brady trying to teach Lamar Jackson today on how to be a pocket quarterback, right? Well, Tom Brady's been a pocket quarterback his whole life. So all the nuances of what makes him great, he can't give it to him in an hour. Like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You go down there for a week. What did you actually learn? Let's be honest. The fuck did you learn in an hour and a half, 6 hours of work? Like, oh yeah, he taught LeBron James. LeBron James went there for three days in the summer. What did he teach him? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Hey, some of us been on YouTube longer than that workout, and we still don't know how to do this properly. Come on, y'all.
Hey, look, man, because the guys was pulling up videos earlier before you came in. I'm gonna pull the guy up too. I'm gonna pull him up. He pulled up a video of LeBron doing the spin move going baseline dunking.
Ooh.
That's what he got from. I said, no.
One move. No, nigga, no.
That's what you did.
That is not the only thing that he did.
Okay, no, hold on. Now you can state your case because, like I said, now he's here.
No. Hey, I ain't one for speaking disrespectful, calling Gil a clown or nothing like that. Ultimate respect, salute to you, bro.
Hey, listen, I get it.
You don't care.
but my being nasty as hell. No, what my position is, when you said that, when you said all that you just said, right, about Hakeem's training and how he's doing it to people that already have like developed fundamental skills, I'm with you 1,000%. But then should you have a problem with Hakeem or Hakeem's price for his training, or just how bad of fundamentals the trainees have?
Okay, so look, I've seen I had I'm making $20 million a year, right? Mm-hmm. People who charge $200 a session irritated the fuck out of me, right? That irritated me. Like, yeah. Technically, you're just a rebounder, right? Mm-hmm. Back then, there was really no skill development guys. Really, Hakeem was really one of the only ones then, right? So I've seen video. So 200, maybe 3K a week for him. Okay, 50K a week, no.
At that, wait, are you saying like at that time when you were in the game, or
now? 50K.
Oh.
Listen, think about what I'm saying, right? Uh-huh. Take away what a player makes, right? 50K for them, great, right? Yeah. It's easy. They don't care.
Yeah.
What are you getting for 50K? An hour and a half, right?
That's how long the training is? Hour and a half?
Yeah.
Oh.
once a day, hour and a half, 3 to 4 times that week. Now, this is the problem. We're humans. We've been to work.
Right.
If I told you that you need to learn this software, you only get an hour and a half a day, 3 times to 4 times for that week. Are you an expert? Did you really actually consume the information I'm giving you? Did you? Are you going to be able to process the information and put it in game-like situations?
Absolutely not. But I will.
And it takes thousands of reps in a game of basketball to get good at something. Like to get good, be a good 3-point shooter, you can't work on threes for 3 times a week for an hour.
Absolutely.
You have to put up thousands. If to be an elite 3-point shooter, you have to be
doing
500 to 1,000 makes a day for a
but
whole
here's the problem.
To be elite.
I don't think anybody that has like a legitimate like argument for what you're saying and not just like debunking it because it's Hakeem Olajuwon, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody is saying that learning, like you're expecting these players to like develop like legendary skills as great as what Hakeem mastered in his illustrious career. I don't think anybody's saying that. But for $50K, these players get paid millions of dollars, right? Like that. And all you're doing is for that week, you're just practicing repetition on going over with your right, going over your left, doing hook shots with your left, stuff like that. Stuff that players, like I was telling you earlier in the stream, some of these players, you got to realize they don't know that matters until they're told or until they're instructed by somebody that has the credibility of a Hakeem Olajuwon. So these players, like. I told him this, and I know you're not like big on like statistics and stuff like that. But Kobe, when he into 2008-2009 season, right? He was only going like 4.1. He was only doing like 4.1 out of all of his shot attempts. He was only doing 4.1 attempts in the post, right? Mm-hmm. And his efficiency was solid, right, for a guard in the post. Well, then the next season after he worked out with Hakeem, his post-up attempts doubled, and his efficiency went up to like I want to say it was like damn near like lower tier big men, but like high tier guards.
That's not training, though. That's system. When you get more post touches,
you could say that the attempts is based off of that. But then if we go and we watch Kobe in 2009 versus Kobe in 2007, the post-ups just were different. Kobe was fading away for a jump shot. Kobe was fading into his defender, using his footwork to get him closer to the rim for more productive, more efficient shots. That's just facts. Like we could go and watch that.
Yeah, but Kobe came into the league with elite footwork. When you have elite footwork, the foundation for you to get better offensively, your skill level can expound exponentially from there. So because you're starting off like what Gil said, you starting off with the elite foundation. We're talking about the guys, and what he's talking about is working with guys charging them $50,000 a week, like JaVale McGee, and really thinking that he's going to walk out of that workout with something that he can actually use in a game is wild.
But why would you not have anything that you can leave the game with, like work?
I agree.
You know what I'm
saying? I agree that a player of JaVale McGee's skill caliber may be true, but then again, Gil, I wouldn't blame that on Hakeem or Hakeem's price. That's the trainee's fault for not having that fundamental ability at that point.
Okay. This is the problem. If I'm telling you that, like LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to use LeBron as an example also. LeBron had 13 to 17 trainers that summer. He worked out with Hakeem 3 days. How is Hakeem getting the credit for the championships or the footwork, right? You said it earlier that if I gave you 5 days in that week, 5 total hours in that week, you didn't learn nothing. So you can't give that to Kobe also. There's no.
I didn't say you didn't learn anything.
No, what I'm saying is you're not going to learn nothing. You're not going to learn. Giannis just went there when?
I want to say probably about a couple weeks ago.
No, I think he just went there, right? A few days ago.
A couple days ago, yeah.
A couple days ago.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The season. Now I want you to let's give him 12 hours starting today. The training camp starts in about 6-7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he improved? In that
I don't know. We have to see.
No.
But look, but wait.
I'm not giving you an hour and a half. I'm giving you 12 hours a day for 7 days. And I can tell you, when the game starts, none of the moves he learned for 12 hours every single day will process. You have to be 4 months, 5 months. Why you think some of these guys who can't shoot in the league can't shoot today still? And they shoot 200-300 shots every day, because to learn a new skill, it takes months.
Right. But isn't it not just learning a whole new skill? Isn't it kind of when you get with a guy like Hakeem, especially if you're a guy like Giannis, and I believe you was the one who said, now correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to misquote you, but you were saying that he doesn't have an impeccable skill set. Mm-hmm. He's more just relying on athleticism, big body, and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at it like, for a guy like Giannis, wouldn't it be good for him to work with Hakeem and maybe not pick up all the shimmies and the shakes and things like that, but just little tricks to use when you're on the block, little tricks to use when you're posting up different. You know what I'm saying? Splitting your man and things like that. Like I think those things are extremely valuable. Just certain things that maybe a vet would have to teach you that you wouldn't know.
That's like going from high school basketball straight to the NBA, right? We're gonna call Hakeem the NBA of training and footwork, right? You're going from high school straight there. Mm-hmm. You go to college first. Go to someone who has a simpler package first, like a Tim Duncan. That's why I said Tim Duncan. Learn to turn and face, learn to step up. Learn to, off the glass, learn the jab. Then once you understand that concept, then you can advance to the footwork. Remember, Hakeem's footwork has been instilled in him since he was little.
Yeah.
So that means what is natural to him, they have to try to process it today. That is hard to do. They have had to have the footwork first. That's why there's no big that's being successful going to him, because they have the athleticism and they're thinking they can use all of their athletic ability. Hakeem's athletic ability came once he already mastered the slow down footwork.
So is this shit too advanced?
Now, hold on.
Is this too advanced for them?
I got a question.
To advance for them at this stage. You have to spend think about Dwayne Wade, right? Mm-hmm. Dwayne Wade's first couple years, get to the basket, spin, get to the basket. The very following year, he came up with a pull-up, right? Just learned how to pull up, stop his speed, pull up. Spent the whole summer, that's all he did. Because the other things he's not going to lose. So he learned to pull up. After that, the very next summer, bank shots. Pull up, bank. Pull up, bank. The very next year, pump fake. Just a pump fake, one dribble, right? 10 years later, he has a full package. Same thing with Giannis. This training with Giannis should have started as soon as the season was over with.
Yep. And daily, every day, 5, 6 hours.
And I wouldn't have had him on the floor. He would have been in ladder drills first. Ladder drills, one leg development, understanding how to move individually with one leg. That means stuff like this, right? By the time we got on the court, this would have been his movement first. Processing individual legs, right? So just a Euro step. 1, 2, being on balance. So I would have corrected him. Let's go. 1, 2, now shot.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Forward, back, now shot. Right? Same here. Processing. Understand how to move. Same way. Here, now shot. Once you have your balance. So once your feet move individually, then we can start understanding how I get the ball, drive, spin. Now my footwork is a lot better. So he would have had to break this down month by month before he would have even got on his floor. So what ends up happening is, because he's Hakeem and these players are like, yeah, I'm Blake Griffin, I'm Amari Stoudemire. That's why I said I showed it. You can see Hakeem's footwork is masterful. Amari traveled both times he tried it. Traveled because he doesn't understand the short steps versus the long steps. When he was teaching LeBron, he understands, Hakeem, just like me, you understand human behavior, right? Human behavior. Like teaching James Harden, right? If I drop the ball in front of me, the human behavior tells you to look, tells you to reach. Now, when I'm driving, I throw it, grab it, pull it, which means if you reach, I'm pulling right under that, right? That's where the hand get caught. If you're riding me, hook, right? I can hook it, you got caught. Same thing with if a step back, right? If I step back and you're gonna reach for it, I can catch this arm and then shoot, right? So it's off of behavior. So with Hakeem, when he's teaching the ball, using the ball as go look for it, come back. He's teaching people follow the ball. People are ball watchers. So unless you understand how to explain that to the youth, it's hard to translate what you do naturally to them. So charging $50,000 and you can't break it down to the smallest level is the irritation for me.
That's what I'm saying though. Like so if you're saying now that it's just might be too advanced for some of these guys, okay, I could dig that. So from the video that I saw earlier on when Lamont showed earlier, I was under the impression that you were saying the opposite, that it was a waste of time because I thought you were saying that it's outdated, that these moves won't translate to today's game, and I felt like that was completely wrong. So if that's not what you were saying, then okay. But,
no. That's another part. They outdated for how the game is being played from that position.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
The reason
Giannis be on the block, he can't
barely.
He operates from the perimeter.
Okay, so think of Giannis, how he plays is kind of how Hakeem played, right? Their advantage versus the opponent, they're using their skill versus what they're playing against. So Hakeem was faster than everyone in his position. So he used his footwork and ball movement. So he wasn't sitting there against Shaquille, sitting there trying to play this game with him. No, I'm pulling out the face, and I'm going to use my speed to get around you. Guard. That's the Kyrie, right? That's the Kyrie footwork. That's why Kobe was successful, and that's why Melo, because they're the off the block, like a Joe Johnson type, right? It's the one-on-one type of game. Well, with Giannis, his skill is coming full speed, right? Having big men on their back where he can euro through them. That's his footwork, right? If you put Giannis back to the basket and say, this is where you play now, he's not Giannis because he never developed that. That is not the advantage is against him now.
Isn't that what he's working with Hakeem for?
Yeah, wouldn't that be
to get that into his game?
At the very least, to get the know-how now, right? So at the very least, you can practice it throughout the season, on the off season, and then so come not this season, but the next season, then you'll actually start to see that improvement, right? Like, is that $50K bad if at the very least you're just investing in yourself in the long haul?
The 50K is bad. Here's why. That's okay. That's $200,000 a month, right? Mm-hmm. That's $200,000 a month. That's if you work 7 days a week. And if I'm paying $50,000, 7 days, I'm getting all 7 goddamn days, right? And I'm not leaving the gym. But for the whole summer, you're talking about 1.3 million.
I can calculate
6 months, 1.2 million. So 1.2 million that I'm going to spend to sit with Hakeem all day, every single day for the 6 months in the summer.
Is that a bad investment? I mean, you learn it. Like I look at it like you can step your game up so much more. You're gonna get that money back tenfold.
It depends on who you are. If you're JaVale McGee, bad investment, right? right? You're
I don't know. I think JaVale McGee
I think
JaVale McGee has more skill set. I mean, when I was in high school, his mom was coaching at our high school. He used to be in the gym. I've seen JaVale McGee in workouts. He got the skill set.
But he can't process it in the game when there's other bodies around. Like think about it. You've learning by yourself. Like, when do you get to apply it against humans?
JaVale isn't a player like Giannis. JaVale isn't Sengun this past season. Like
so with Giannis, right? I'm spending 1.2 to learn a post-up game. Now, the problem with the 1.2 is none of our plays going to revolve around this new skill I have, right? So now the playbook has to be manipulated for me now being in the post, in the mid post all the time. Like Drew Holiday footwork is better in the post than Giannis.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair to say. I mean, well, I think it's more like,
okay. So look,
semantics.
If I'm his trainer, I'm looking at his game. I'm looking at what works. The evolution of his game is a pull-up first. You need a pull-up, right? Where you going and they're tracking, stop and pull, right? He should have had that 6 years ago. He should have had just a simple pull-up. The following year, back to the basket, turn and face, jumper. Tim Duncan, right? How good was Tim Duncan's footwork? We don't know. He sat there and played with you all day, jumper, made the game simple, right? So once Giannis gets these little two things in, then right out of the post, you can start swimming through and then working on all that. But Hakeem came in the league with the package already. From there, it just enhanced. You don't need to try to adapt someone else's skill. It's meant for that person. If I told you, all right, JaVale McGee, go work with Shaquille O'Neal, y'all will laugh. Because y'all can see the difference. Like, yeah, like, get the fuck out of here, JaVale. Right? That's a waste of 50 grand, right? If JaVale went down working with Shaquille O'Neal, how to be a back to the basket dominant big man. Y'all will sit there.
But I see a difference in the comparison though.
But no,
but when you but when you say that when you say that, are you assuming that these players are going there preparing to like take a piece of Hakeem's skill set? Like, do you think that's what they're going there to do, or they're going there just to get knowledge from this player that was excellent in the post with his elusiveness and his quickness and
you can't get it. But that's what I'm saying. Unless you taking this man's brain, that's been think of what I'm saying. It's been processed for 20-something years. This knowledge has been in 20-something. I can't translate it. There's a reason every kid don't get A's in school, right? We're all in the same class, learning from the same teacher, right? We're all not getting A's, right? Because we all can't process it as fast, right? Most of us are starting with a better knowledge anyway. Same thing in sports.
True, like if we both go to after school tutoring, and we come in there, you may get let's say both of us started and we both got D's on a test. And we go to after school tutoring, and we get the same tutoring from the same tutor. Yeah, you may get to that B or A before me, but if I get a C, that's progress. That's progress. And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying if it's 1.2 million for Giannis, with how much he gets paid, and let's say his post game right now is a D plus. If we see a C plus next season, that's progress. Damn it, I will take that. At least I know he's taking the step towards the right direction. Because I'm telling you right now, in the next couple of years, Giannis is going to be forced to be in that post.
But casual, you're not. No, hold on. But casual, the one thing y'all not incorporating into all this training. The one thing Gil is telling y'all, if you ain't getting the in-game reps to try to figure out how you're going to make this work in-game, it's never going to translate. The in-game reps are never going to, like, practice reps and in-game reps feel completely different.
And that leads
with the style of play that Giannis plays, like we talked about, how many opportunities in a game is he going to get to try to pull off one of these moves that he learns with very limited training? How does he's pulling off these? You want him to attempt these Hakeem Olajuwon type moves on very limited training, right? He's not getting the full breakdown. He doesn't have the reps. He doesn't have the practice reps to even trust himself to try this in game.
He's gonna do it one or two times, and then he's gonna quit and go back to what he knows how to do.
But that's a Giannis problem. That's a Giannis problem. What I'm saying is, if you
but y'all still can't name a big man that's successfully learned from him.
If you go and train, so if you go and train with somebody, right, and you decided, so what you and Gilbert was saying a minute ago is that he should have came at the beginning of the summer. Yeah. I don't know what Giannis is doing. I have no idea what his schedule is like. He didn't though. So if you get a couple weeks with somebody, can't you? You got you in the gym. You might got your boys in the gym. Your brothers. He got brothers. Y'all in the gym. Y'all learn some of this stuff. You keep training though. You don't have to have Hakeem there after every day.
You do
to get back in the gym.
You do.
But you do have to have Hakeem there.
No, you do.
Well, after why?
Because the breakdowns only Hakeem can explain the breakdowns of all the moves.
But that's what I'm saying. If you retain the information,
you don't retain how much retain. That's what I'm saying. Think about just school. How much information are you retaining from this teacher to move on to different level? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work like that. Like
everybody's different.
And a lot of the stuff that Hakeem has,
everybody's different.
Is natural. It's the stuff that he learned from soccer. So, like what he said, some of the stuff that Hakeem naturally does is because he garnered these skills naturally from being a soccer player. And so now, if you're trying to teach these intrinsic reactions to a guy like JaVale McGee, whose footwork is not close to that of a soccer player's, how are you going to teach those intrinsic reactions? How are you going to teach him to move his feet like as finesse as a soccer player would to pull some of these moves off? How are you going to teach that?
Well, he don't got to turn into Hakeem Olajuwon. That's my point. I think that's what Casual was just saying a second ago. He doesn't have to turn into Hakeem Olajuwon. He just has to improve. You know what I'm saying? Just get better.
But
I think it's disingenuous.
Who's improving? Who improved? Did you? We
went through this earlier.
No,
that's not
what player improved. Y'all can't even.
No, what I'm saying. JaVale game didn't improve.
I told
Amari post game didn't improve. Tyson Chandler's game didn't improve. I mean, we can name every big.
Why didn't they improve? What do you? How come they didn't improve? Why are y'all saying they didn't improve?
Because I spent 3 days. What happens is I spent 3 days or a week with Hakeem. Then I went the rest of the summer not being micromanaged. One, he's not micromanaging him. Then I'm going the rest of my summer learning different things. I get into the game. I try it one time. It fails. I'm not doing it again. And if you don't believe me, remember this move. James Harden, right? Preseason, he did the one-legged step back shot. Y'all remember that move?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
That shit was
He
dumb.
spent the whole summer. I mean, the man took about 50,000 of those. He tried that shit in one preseason game. Cut it.
But so Kobe and Bron didn't improve by working with Hakeem?
No.
They went 3 days. What would they do?
I'm just asking you a question.
Cannot improve in 3 days.
Y'all would know better. You would know better.
I think
you need thousands of reps before you even get marginal improvement in the NBA.
But think about what I'm saying.
Because I think Hakeem just showed LeBron what he already had and just showed him this is how you can use it. And LeBron took it and ran with it. Can you
pull up that video of LeBron James? How long did it took him? How many reps did it take him? And he still couldn't get his feet right. Look at the feet work. He can't get it right. Hakeem got to keep going over and over on just a simple. It's just a simple ball placement. Has nothing to do with the feet. He just doesn't You just don't understand. He's too stiff for Hakeem.
That's not Hakeem's fault though. That was my only point. That was my only point from the video that I saw. That was my only point. I was just confused on why it seemed a little clickbaitish. So maybe you was kind of hyping it a little bit just to get your point across. But I'm like, how is this a Hakeem problem? You know what I'm saying? If you don't stay in the gym with Hakeem, that's on you. Hakeem.
You look at it at the same time.
Now okay. So look. Hakeem is picking the ball up. Right, he's just demonstrating. LeBron is bouncing like no, you don't bounce that. Like that should be a correction. Like, this is not a this makes me laugh, man. Just look.
They're warming up, bro. They're warming up.
But you just see,
he showed them, hey, do this. Right,
now look how, like, so. But see, this is all natural for Hakeem, right? It's all natural. So you can see how when he turns, his left foot goes a little bit higher to over-exaggerate. Like, so think about, like, rewind that a little bit. Think about how see, I can understand it because I was taught footwork. His left leg, when he goes to take the step, his left leg jumps higher to get, you'll see it on the next one, to get that extra. So when his right foot higher, boom. So it's his left leg that pushes. Everybody else is going to use their right leg and drag the left. But this is minimal teaching. But Hakeem doesn't understand it because he does it naturally.
Well, but I'm looking at LeBron doing it now, like, because shortly after he does it, and like I'm not understanding like how like I understand what you're saying. I'm just not understanding how it's applicable to a player like LeBron, who we saw he did these exact moves that following season.
Okay, Hakeem did these moves 10, 15 times a game. LeBron did it.
LeBron did
once, 8 times. 8 times the whole season, and y'all want to say he learned something?
No, he did it 8 times a game.
Hell no.
Hell no, he did not do that on 8 times a game.
He did not post up. He did not post up.
That next season, he
did not do these post-up moves 8 times a year. Look, he ain't even doing it right here.
What are you doing?
He ain't even doing the move right here.
But look, so what I'm getting from this,
his feet too close on the move. His feet too. Look where
you being disingenuous.
No,
so basically what y'all saying is stop training. Don't work out in the summer. Don't get a trainer.
No.
I think he's saying don't work out with Hakeem.
No. What I'm saying is
don't work out with somebody that's more advanced to you because you're never going to be as good as him. That's crazy, bro. That's so disingenuous, bro.
No, I think this is the problem you guys are missing. You have to be self-aware of who you are.
True.
As a player. As a trainer, you should understand human behavior on what you're training and who are you training. If this was Kyrie saying he's spending $50,000, look, this is all about ball movement. If this was Kyrie, Booker, Jimmy Butler, DeMar saying I'm spending $50,000 to go learn footwork with Hakeem, I would have never said shit. Because I know they can process this. This will translate to them. When Giannis said, I said, no, don't waste your money. Then I said, what? Go to Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
So you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem with wings going there. You have a problem with forwards and bigs.
It depends on who the person is. It's who you are.
So now we get somewhere. Now we get somewhere. It's because it's Giannis.
Yeah. Now you
already
understand what you're saying
about Giannis.
Like if I'm saying like this, waste of money, LeBron. You wasted your money. Right? Blake Griffin, you're going to waste your money. Amari Stoudemire, you're going to waste your money. Right? You have to understand who you are as an individual first. My son, I will spend $50,000 for my son to go here because I know my $50,000 are going to be worth it because he already has elite footwork. See, LeBron wants to use 2 feet to power up and dunk. So he's already, like I
just did it.
He's already, the drill is already, it's already messing up everything.
He did that left-hand poster.
He did that left-hand poster. You have to if you have to understand who your makeup is. Like JaVale, if I say, yo, go spend $50,000, I'm gonna say, all right, go to Kareem. That's your length. That's your style. That's something you can do. You don't have no weight on you. He didn't have no weight. He understood the sky hook. You developed the sky hook. No one can block that shot with your jumping ability. That's something that, you know what I mean? That's a player that you can mimic and be successful doing it. You come in here trying to learn this, JaVale, stop. It's a waste of $50,000. I'm saying as players, understanding who you are to understand who your teacher is.
Yeah.
Because if your teacher can't break the move down for your body, like if I'm teaching a spin move and I have 5 kids, all 5 can't do the spin move the same.
So
like I teach,
that's
my
true, but
I have a 16-year-old, I have a 17-year-old daughter, 6-year-old son, 13-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son. My 16 and the 11-year-old son can do the moves. Even though one of them is left-handed, he can still do the same move. Even for left-handed, I have to teach the move for a left-hander to understand and how to do it since I'm righty. So I have to teach it for their body style, their body movement, to make it natural for them. You can see this is not natural for LeBron.
And also, by the way, Chad, I also want to let y'all guys know these moves that you're seeing in this video. You can go and look at LeBron to this day, and these are moves that he still utilizes to this point. So it's not like LeBron didn't utilize them for years past, which goes back to what I'm saying. I think. Oh wait, so I got a question for you.
Here, go back to this move because this is important.
LeBron utilized them in Miami.
No. Look,
he utilized Miami. He used them in his time back in Cleveland.
All right. So look at this footwork move. Right. This is for someone. LeBron can't do this in the game.
Why not?
Right? Because with Hakeem, if you see Hakeem do it, it's so natural to him. This is just a natural foot placement where he's doing the move.
Bro, that has nothing to do with Bron. You telling me Bron can't do it because it's natural for Hakeem? That doesn't make any sense.
It is. It's natural for Hakeem.
So since it's natural for Hakeem, Bron can't do it?
No, hold on.
But you're still not giving me. No, you're still not giving me any reason why Bron.
Hold on, let me ask you.
Because
this.
He's not.
Lamont, make him answer the question.
Y'all base.
Because you're basing it off of because it's a LeBron, not basing it off of it. It's a soccer player teaching him.
What?
It's a soccer player who has soccer footwork. So the footwork is so natural. What I'm saying is, it's 20 years. This footwork has been.
That's not what he's learning.
Yes, he is. He's learning the footwork. How can you learn to move if you don't understand the footwork first? And the footwork to Hakeem is natural. You guys are understanding the finishing move. That's why I know
that's not, and that's not even what we're saying.
I'm not going to speak. What I'm saying is, I can take my son right now, tell him to watch this move. He can go to the court without demonstrating the first time and go and do the move exactly how Hakeem, because his feet understand this. My son won't take fucking 20 times to understand his move, and then my son can process it in the game. LeBron can't process this in the game because his feet wasn't trained to do this move. The feet has to be trained. That's what you guys are not understanding. The feet has to be trained first. LeBron shouldn't be on the court yet.
So are you saying that LeBron's footwork isn't good enough?
No. LeBron can't do.
Have to disagree then.
LeBron, have you ever seen LeBron do a right to left euro? This move. Have you seen LeBron successfully do this right here? Right?
I'm watching.
Crosses over this way to come back this way. Right?
Bron's not capable of doing that?
No, he gonna travel. Oh, see, man. LeBron knows this one. He knows
this nigga trolling, man.
When he's coming, when he does this crossover and then try to come back this way, he gonna use this to come back for the travel every single time, right? You remember the move in Washington? Yeah. He took 3 steps because he's so trained. Here, dunk. He's never been trained to go the other way. So when he goes this way, when he comes, does this fast, and go here, he wants to try to come back here because he's more comfortable with it. So no matter how many times he did this in practice, when his brain does it in the game.
But that's basic shit, bro. That's basic shit right there.
No.
This movement.
Nah, Casual, that's basic shit. Don't let him off the hook, Casual. Don't let him off the hook. But that's basic. That's a basic move, bro.
No, Ox, I'm finna take it a step further. One, that move you're bringing up, that was a fast break move. So yes, okay, that's fine. But that's not
you do what's natural in the game.
No, you do what's natural in the game.
No.
Hold on one second, Casual. You've been talking for a minute. I want
to hear what is it.
No, I'm gonna let him go. But this is how I break it down. If I am born and I'm in a household that speaks English and Spanish, and I just learned Spanish naturally because I've been around it my whole life and that's all I know. It's going to be harder for me naturally learning Spanish to then go try to teach you Spanish, because the person that needs to teach you how to learn Spanish is a Spanish teacher that's going to break it down to its core fundamentals first, as opposed to you who learned it naturally. You're going to struggle to teach me because you're just going to go straight. You're going to go straight to the opposite end of the spectrum. And I think what he's talking about, and the one thing that I've seen is Hakeem, with a lot of the guys that he's working out with, he's jumping all the way to XYZ in his training. And he forgot about the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and everything leading up to XYZ. Hakeem is teaching him the XYZ of the moves. He's not teaching them the ABC of the moves. And the ABC of the moves, like Gil is saying,
NBA players, bro.
It does not require him being on the basketball court.
NBA, don't let that NBA.
Hold on, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because I've seen enough NBA players that lack in certain skills. I understand that not every NBA player is is that, but at the same time though, I as a trainer, so when I train at different levels of kids, like right, so if I'm training 12 and under as opposed to 15 and under, I understand that they might not know this, but I'm still going to work with them to get it. If you don't leave with it today, we're still going to, if it's hard for you, if you can't go this way with the left, I'm making you do that time and time and time again. If you don't got that footwork, we're going to do it time and time and time again. You're going to travel, you're going to be pissed off, you're going to be throwing balls. I don't give a damn. We're going to do it time and time and time again. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what I don't understand. NBA players can't do that.
Because they need 6 months. They need 6 months. You need 6 years time and time. This training is an hour and a half.
Okay. I can see that.
Like even with kids, when someone's saying look for a trainer, I say, listen, you doing shit that says 3 to 5 makes. You didn't learn nothing. There's nothing you learn with 3 to 5 makes, right? You have to do shit 25 reps. 50 reps to really understand, to really get your style into it. Like I know, like, here, I'm gonna show y'all, like, I still write shit down because I got dribbling, right? I got moves. I got like moves, like stationary moves that I teach fundamental plays. Right, how to move in plays, right? Zones, triples, double teams, boxing ones, right? I study the game so much that I can teach kids on all level. Like I'm not like my son has all NBA moves, right? Just to have the package. But he's going to get double teamed. He's going to be in boxing ones, and he's going to be in zones. So I had to teach him zone games, how to play in those games. But you have to understand that needs hours and hours and hours. NBA players ain't doing that. Not the normal. Kobe, I'm not worrying about Kobe. Kobe going to put in those hours. Kyrie going to put in those hours. Kawhi going to put in them hours. Right?
So this is a player thing, not a Hakeem thing. It's the place on this.
It's not a Hakeem thing. Hakeem has his method, and it's his method. But there's a reason that the players that he's bringing, like you have too many players under your belt that's not been successful at your teaching. If I show you my son from when he was 12, 13, and then I show you the moves that I was doing with him, you will see Curry, Clay, all them doing the one-legged, like I'm the one who was doing the one-legged, understanding the process of the legs, understanding that stuff. You see it translated in today's game. The James Harden, understanding how to get fouled, understanding hook, right?
So Gilbert, could you teach Giannis better than Hakeem?
Yes, because in Hakeem's moves, no.
Okay, but just to advance better for the upcoming seasons though. Yeah, because maybe since you didn't play in Hakeem's position, maybe you see it from a different angle, or what? Like what?
No, I'm a post up player. I posted up also. Okay. Like I watch Gary Payton, I watch Hakeem. That's how I know which players will work with Hakeem. You think of Hakeem as a guard, not a big. Right? It's like me. It's like us spending $50,000 a week with on Magic Johnson learning his vision and his passing and the no look. It's a waste of fucking money.
Exactly what I said.
He's been doing that since he started basketball. I've been a scorer since the beginning. So me trying to understand what he can see, he can't teach me his natural vision, his understanding of what he's looking for, what he's looking at. The Jason Kidd understanding how fast this player is going to put enough spin on it, like the Lonzo balls and the LaMelo balls, and I can't do. If I tried to learn it, I'm wasting my fucking money. Like I need to go to Dame Lillard, right? I can go to Dame. I can go to Kyrie. I can go to I can go to who else? I can go to Steph, right? I have a reference of guys that I can train with them and understand this process. Me going to Westbrook, that's a waste of my fucking time.
It seemed like to me you saying that once a player is a certain type of player, he can't go to another. Once a scorer is a scorer, he can't go to a facilitator and learn how to better facilitate. I think that's disingenuous. I don't agree.
How can I transfer? How can I?
You can't.
How can I transfer my natural vision to you?
Right.
The nuances of what you naturally see, like that's what I'm saying. I think you guys are missing the longevity. Like let's take Hakeem, right? Hakeem started when he was 6 with footwork, right? Understanding basketball. So by the time he became Hakeem and finished his career, he's 34, right? So 30 years of learning this stuff. And you think you're going to somebody's supposed to pick that up in 5 hours a week?
Well, look, so what I'm saying, even to a facilitating standpoint, or what I originally was saying is that I'm not saying that you're supposed to go and pick that up. Like, nah, I'm not saying if you worked out with a J Kidd, you automatically turn into the open court dimer, throwing passes like that. But it's the tricks though. It's the little tricks that you learn. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking you would go to see Hakeem about, is maybe when you open up, step this way instead of step that way. Just the little tricks. I'm not giving you my whole package because you can't leave with that, but you can leave with certain things to look for in a defender. When a defender's taking your jab step with the right leg, with the back leg as opposed to the front leg. Okay, now that he's doing that, do this instead. So that's all I'm saying. I think you can pick up things that can help you get better at facilitating. If you learn, like, okay, when your man cuts, instead of trying to throw this pass, put it on the ground here. Make longer passes or short passes. Just different examples. I'm not sure, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's all I think. That's what I mean.
This is a true story. So my offense was the Princeton offense, right? The New Jersey Nets went to the finals 2 years straight with the Princeton offense, right? So I was struggling with the Princeton. Too much going on because there's too many moving parts with my style of play. So coach took me to go to the Jersey. Jersey is playing in the playoffs. This is 2003-4. 2003-4 we went watching J Kidd, right? So coach is doing all this, and I'm looking at J Kidd is like, hey man, this is some bullshit. I don't play like this to do what he's trying to do. He's looking for a pass that's going to a man. Why would I'm next to the basket. Why am I going to look for a pass across the court when I'm right here? When I'm right here next to the back, why am I looking for a fake double team to make this pass? Just this backdoor? No. So I said, how about this, coach? Give me the playbook. Let me put my style on it, how I see this game. So he said, you know what? Fine. Gave me the playbook. I tweaked the playbook on how Larry Hughes played. Right. We knew once Antoine Jameson came in, how Antoine Jameson played, right? I played with them already, so I knew how they played. So I spent the whole summer tweaking the playbook to fit how we play the game. But that took the whole summer to do it. Then we had to go to training camp and actually go through the movements and understand how it works, right? To understand how to manipulate it. So when you say someone can teach it, You have to really understand. Hakeem don't have that. He's charging 50,000. He's charging 50,000 an hour, basically. So, motherfucker, just get this hour over with. Give me my goddamn check.
So let me ask you real quick though. So if when you're saying that you didn't understand it the way for J Kidd to run it, but you was able to take it and tweak it to your understanding. So obviously there's a level of IQ there for you to be able to do that. But is that also a lack of there too, to not be able to adapt? Is that so? Not necessarily like towards you, but just to other players though, like an inability to adapt to other offenses. You know what I'm saying? Like is that an IQ or a natural thing? It's okay. So there's a reason that you'll see a guy in the offense and he's great here, and then he struggles in this offense, right? What's your natural ability? You play basketball? Yeah, I play. I did. I played ball. Yeah. What was your gift? Power forward, defense. Okay, so transition, getting out transition. All right, so now let's say, all right, we're gonna take away we put you in the offense that takes away the full court. Now you got to play half court and you got to play face up, right? Yeah, I can do that, you got to play. You play back to the basket. So it's like me telling you to be great in something you ain't done yet. It's going to take you some time to really understand that, right? Definitely. So that's why I said it took me the summer. Like I'm sitting hours. Like Larry, no, fuck that. Come on. Now we're practicing the movement. Like I'm practicing. Like I'm putting cones out, doing the moves. That's why the very next year I became an all-star because I did what I'm going to do in the game. I trained for it, right? Like. Hell yeah. What happens now is this. You see all these guys training in the summer, right? Doing all this shit. Like there's a fucking video of Tristan Thompson dribbling and doing all. Nigga, you won't do that in the game. The fuck you working on that for? Right?
We see it with Ben Simmons all the time.
Oh, speaking of Ben, right? Ben can't shoot, right? Can't shoot in the game. Not a lick. Go to one of his workouts. He takes 200 to 300 shots a day. But the problem is they're in practice. They're not in the game. So what happens in the game, as soon as he missed 2-3 shots, he gave up on his whole summer. Every summer, Ben Simmons is top 3 player in the summer. That's got to be a mental block, though. UCLA, they are scared of that man. They scared of that man at UCLA. That man is a Hall of Famer when they playing this man in pickup. They can't guard that man in pickup. In the game, though, those stats count. He come down, he missed, air ball, hit the side of the backboard. He done threw away his whole summer shooting routine because he ain't been training game like. Like there's superstars in practice. That game is different. If you don't know how to translate the game, that what you learn and practice into the game, that's where the super elite is. That's where the Michael Jordans, where they can translate the practice into the game. When you see Curry work out, watch his movements. They are game speed, like crisp, everything. There's no running through the motions. And everything he does is full speed. So he can over-exaggerate everything. Like there's levels of training and then translating it. Yeah. But I'm talking about the greats. I'm trying to focus on those top level guys, Giannis, Hakeem.
That's a question I do have. Like
training don't change though. Training don't change. High level training is like this is why the best trainers are the best trainers. And like Phil Beckner's, like when I worked out with a Phil Beckner,
Gus Armstead.
Who's that? And so Phil Beckner's Dame's trainer. Okay. He started off with Dame, at least in college. I think he's still with him now. But when you work out with this man, you only working out 30, 45 minutes. He's not about to have you in the gym for 4-5 hours. He's not. But what he's going to do in that 30, 45 minutes, you're going to be in a dead, crazy sweat because everything that you do, he emphasizes on, like what Gil said, over-exaggerating the move and going game speed. And that's what, as far as that training aspect, if you look at his clients, it translates to games. Because when you look at Dame, like I told y'all how about his game has changed since he was a rookie coming into the league. We've seen how he extended his range, how he's stronger. Like the same drills Gil was talking about, going back and forth on one leg, holding your balance, holding the ball in your shot pocket, then going up with your shot. It seems silly, but even with NBA players, you have to break these drills down to the core without even shooting. You have to break them down to the core, almost as if they little kids, because you have to retrain their thinking, because what you're going to do in the game when the pressure's on, you go back to what you naturally do. Like, so that's what happens with a lot of these guys. Like, you can give Giannis all this stuff, but when I'm looking at these slow-mo drills, when Giannis has a team going full speed at him, he's not gonna, like, the processing, he's not gonna have time to think back or reflect on what Hakeem taught him. Hakeem needs to teach it so it becomes ingrained into his natural moves. And if you're teaching it slow, the processing speed of it is going to be slow. But if you're training it fast and you're training it game like, is more apt to transition or translate into games. And so I think when you look at that, that's why he's talking about certain players. If you're not breaking it down to his core with like guys like JaVale McGee, how impactful are you making it? Because he's just going to get in the game and just fumble it and just look crazy trying to replicate your moves.
That's not his role, though. Why we keep mentioning JaVale like that's his role on the team? But
you're missing what we talk about. Young Africa, you came in on the tail end of what we was talking about.
No, I heard you. I heard you.
Okay. Let's name Amari Stoudemire. Let's name Blake Griffin.
Let's matter of fact, let's stick to Giannis. The example that you gave, right?
Okay, let's
so Giannis, right? And I want to ask Gil a question. With all due respect, I want to ask Gil a question, right? So you asked a few questions like, how many times is the individual player going to use this move, right? I don't think that's so consequential in the modern game. For example, I don't think he needs to use it 8 times for it to be effective. For example, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a guy that you understand and you know way more basketball than me, but when you have a post game, you're able to draw defenders, create mismatches, right? You're able to control the pace of the game and slow down the tempo. And then when it comes to late game execution and teams are building a wall on you, Giannis, in the clutch in the playoffs, if you got a post game and a back to the basket game, even if that's the only time you use a move or the only time you emphasize that skill set, why is that not important and would aid his game? And why it doesn't have to end with a hezzy, dream shake, back to the basket, fade away post game, but it can be effective enough to open up the game, not just for himself, but for his team as well.
Who said he shouldn't have a post game? I think I was the first person to say he should have one.
Oh, okay. So what? Just doesn't need to be a King's post game?
Just $50K for Hakeem to learn what he is teaching for a poster. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're going to Mike Tyson.
Right.
As a beginning boxer.
Nah, see, Lamont, you and Gil, y'all hung up on that 50 bands. Y'all pocket watching.
Okay, no. Okay, let's take
y'all
the money away.
Hung up on that 50 bands.
Okay, let's take the money away and let's just say you are a beginning boxer, amateur boxer, trying to learn Mike Tyson's greatness. Slow. You gotta relax a little bit. There's people you need to go to before you get to him, because what he does
is natural.
He doesn't teach the root of it. He's not teaching the root of what you need to get. Like, you're supposed to already have your, like, that's what I said. Like, if this was Joker already has the footwork.
Foundation.
You can go to Hakeem.
Foundation.
Right? You have Kyrie. You can go to Hakeem. Right? DeMar. Jimmy, go. You're fine. If he's charging y'all $100,000, I don't give a shit about none of that. Now we're talking about the high jumper who's using all athleticism, your Westbrooks and all. Nah.
How do you rate Giannis's post game? Right? You think he has a non-existent post game? Is that what you're saying? He's got a non-existent post game? Back to the basket game.
Compared to his ability, you can consider that non-existent.
Exactly. I think it's a D. I think it's a D minus.
That's why I think it's a D plus.
We're talking about a guy who, when he's in the lane, he can just jump up and dunk on everyone, right? But this is the same problem Amari Stoudemire had, Blake Griffin had, right? What they're great at is creating speed to jump.
Right.
You're creating the momentum to jump, to use that part of your skill. Right, so understanding, playing the groundwork first. Like, Hakeem was athletic, but you didn't know he wasn't. You didn't know he was that athletic until he finished his move. They want to use their athleticism first. So now he has to try to reverse this method. Right? He learned footwork, then athleticism. They've learned athleticism. Now they're trying to go to him for footwork.
Right.
When you have the process, have y'all ever heard Jordan talk? Think about Jordan's draft picks. He's picking people with fundamentals, not realizing, they learned the fun. Nigga, you had a 46-inch vertical first. Yeah. you picking Adam Morrison, thinking you're gonna turn into Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan has the process first, right? Yeah. But those are the things that sometimes the elite don't really understand. They don't understand how to translate what they naturally have and say, all right, hold on. Because I have the footwork, we need to start from a basic standpoint first. You need to learn how to be a post player. Cool. I don't need to be in the post with you. I don't need to be on the court with you to teach you how foot placement in the post.
Right.
Right. The basket is the last part of it. I need to teach you how to understand your foot placement first. Foot movement. Okay, a guy's hanging on this side. You need to learn where his foot is. Yeah, you need to learn where his foot is to know where your right foot goes versus your left foot. You need to understand all that. When I was learning moves, I'm learning it from a defensive player, not an offensive player. Fuck offense. I need to learn from a defensive player. What are you taught? So when people say, Gil didn't play no defense, I didn't need to, because my offense was my defense. So I need to learn what are you taught? What are you taught on defense? All right, below the free throw line, you got to push me that way. All right, so when I dribble here, you're going to push me this way. Now I know, all right, this is the box I have. Now what happens now? This guy comes over. All right, so now all my moves under the free throw line, I have a package for that. Now I have a package versus, the power forward. I have a package versus a guard. I have a package versus a wing in that same movement. Now above the free throw line, what are you supposed to do? All right, you got to play me straight up. Now I have packages against this player. So you have to understand. So I had to understand what a defense player does for me to understand how to be a great offensive player.
I have a question. I got a
question. Let me ask.
Same thing with Giannis.
Hold on. Let me ask this real quick, Africa. Gil, how would you?
Wait, hold on. He should learn. He should have Kenyon Martin or Rudy Gobert, right? Those should be in the workout with him, so he can understand they're great. What are they looking at when they're guarding him? Like, we're okay. All right, boom, boom, boom. Now I'm going to challenge this way.
Right.
So now Hakeem can see that and say, all right, if this is what he's going, this is when you come back this way, right? There's there's levels to trying to teach a guy how to translate it to the game.
Hakeem already understands. Hakeem already understands how they're gonna guard it.
He knew how they were gonna guard it when he played versus how they guard it now. Right. Like so.
His defense is different now.
Now.
In what ways, Lamont? In what ways is the post defense different?
Okay. Here I got two different post players. Right, both great. Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace.
Both.
They're both different. They're both different, right?
So from the same era, though. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference in the post defense from today and yesterday.
If you're going against Rasheed, is he going to try to block your shot off you shooting it? No. He's going to stand ground. Ben is going to try to block that shot straight up.
Right.
Okay. So then they're in the same area though, right?
But I'm saying that's two different styles of shot block or defensive players. So you have to understand both mechanics. Right. So you need both type of players in your workout. So
you niggas are capping.
Rasheed uses body positioning, and Ben Wallace uses his vert and his jumping ability. That's
for 50 grand, if I'm giving you 50 grand, if I'm charging you 50 grand, Hakeem, I'm gonna have Ben Wallace there. I'm going to have Rasheed Wallace there. I'm going to have Dwight Howard there. So when I'm teaching a move, I run it.
Put your work.
Now you get to play. You get to play against somebody who's going to finesse you, pull it, some guy who's going to use jumping ability, some guy who's going to use brute strength. Now you have a game-like with all 3 different type of attributes. Then I might stick a Jimmy Butler on you to see what you're going to do. Like, you have to do this in real time. I can't just give you this and say, all right, process this shit against elite players. Against elite players, when I did moves, I needed referees. Is this a travel? I need to understand it. And then when I'm doing that move, I'm doing it in 120, like me shooting a shot, turning around. You think I did that in game? Man, I did that hundreds and hundreds of times. Steph does that shit thousands of times. This shit turn around, that ain't something he just does. He does it repetition, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. These post players ain't doing that shit. That's why they don't get the ball. I don't respect it. I'm not getting you the ball. I done seen you do the drop step.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Drop step turn.
I agree.
You're doing that shit against a big man coach who from the 50s. That Shaq blocking that dumb shit you trying, goddammit. You think about all the post players you see today. You don't think they spend the whole summer working on post moves by themselves? And then when in the game coming, there's a defense there, they don't know what the fuck to do. The DeAndre Jordan goes back to being DeAndre Jordan. Get the ball, he hit that body. Oh, shit, freeze up, now I want to pass the ball.
Yeah, but that's not Hakeem's fault. Hakeem is there to help. And if you can't get it, that's not Hakeem's fault.
But that's literally what Gil is saying.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, hey, Giannis, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing against Hakeem in his training. Charge what you're going to charge. I'm just saying
that's not what you were saying in the video.
But hold on. Look. It's like
I'm saying Giannis don't spend $50,000 for them old ass moves because that's not how you play.
Them old ass moves. So open up.
You saying it's like iOS 14?
Spin off of that. That's an old move. That's an ineffective
that's
move.
A crazy reference.
Show me the player that's doing it.
Thank you.
That's what.
Come on,
maybe.
I've been asking them that all day, Gil. Show me the player that's doing these moves. That's all I've been asking.
So when I show that,
so it's a bad move because he can't do it, or because he can't do it, or he can't do it. That's a bad move.
It's a bad move because if you can't teach the fundamentals of how to even pull it off correctly,
you consistently hating on Hakeem. So that's
no, it's not. It's not. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. This is what we talking about. Gil is talking from the standpoint of fixing these players. He's looking at all of these players and saying, okay, JaVale McGee, you have a slower processing speed than a Kyrie Irving, right? We have to start you out on level A before we put you on level X, which is where when you look at Hakeem's training, he's automatically starting everybody on the final level, as opposed to with a guy like JaVale McGee, you got to start him out to the basics, understanding footwork, because like we say in the game, you have to process on how to utilize these moves in 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 seconds. And to try to remember this, recall these moves and know
your body naturally gonna do what it's going to do.
The only way you learn how to use these moves in game is if you make it natural to the player. And by bringing in different types of defenders so they can see when to pull off this move. And then you have to repeat and spam it over it again. And then you have to bring in a different defender. And then you have to repeat that, spam it over again, because you're trying to retrain his mind to do these things that Hakeem is teaching naturally. Otherwise, when the game gets pressure packed, JaVale McGee's just going to go back to being JaVale McGee.
You're gonna go to whatever's natural to you. That's just how it is.
I promise you, we acting like Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid doesn't play like Hakeem and use a similar Hakeem moves. We acting like that though.
Yeah, but he didn't learn that from Hakeem. No, but he didn't learn that from Hakeem.
Didn't that nigga play?
The game evolves from the greats, right?
But that's
he saw Hakeem play. I'm sure.
But that's a guy that you can give to Hakeem to enhance his ability because he already has the footwork.
I understand that. So let me give you some names, right? Like
you're talking about another soccer player. You're talking about another soccer player.
It's accelerated training at that.
Yeah,
point.
okay, I understand that. So let's even historically, guys like that came into the league, guys like Pau Gasol that didn't really play back to the basket and got it back to the basket game. How would you define that evolution?
He can go to Hakeem, no problem. Marc Gasol, go to Hakeem. Even Zach Randolph can go to Hakeem. right? You're talking about guys who needed footwork to be successful, right? They needed the footwork to be successful, so they have a better understanding. So Jokic's footwork package has been developed since he was little. He can't teach it because it's natural. So basically, if I'm saying, all right, Giannis, you need to learn footwork from Hakeem. All right, Hakeem, go back to your brain when you was 10 to 11 years old. That's how it's going to look, because now he's teaching at a very advanced level when this man's footwork is on beginner level. That's just sitting there. That's what I'm saying. You're looking at a move Amari's doing. Can you pull up the Amari?
Yeah, I got you.
Just so y'all can see how far off. Amari is MVP. I mean, not MVP, but rookie. He's an all-star, all-NBA player. He's dunking on everybody. Look how hard it is for him to pick up a basic-ass concept. Look at this. I think it's a short.
But no, I got the full video right here.
But the thing about it is too, his balance as a jumper is really off of 2 feet. Amari Stoudemire, LeBron James, these guys they're 2-foot planters, right? So Gil, you understand that the balance and requiring as a 2-foot planter compared to a 1-foot planter is going to be completely different. So Hakeem, he's able to pirouette off his knees and jump. He doesn't need that much lift. He's able to use different angles in English. All I'm saying is that the info that Hakeem is giving in turn of foot placement, set points, what he's seeing, the mentality, what he's looking at in his feet, body language, things of that nature.
How do you teach a 2-foot jumper to be a 1-foot jumper?
Travel. Right there. Travel. He traveled.
You can't obviously.
See,
obviously
He frustrated.
Hold on, do that again.
Hold on, y'all.
But as I said,
hey, just to prove my point for last night.
Come on, man.
These are because what happens is what is natural. What is a natural thing for them? Like Amari's a 2-foot jumper, right?
That's a good move right there.
No, that's a good move, but he ain't gonna be able to do that in the game without thinking.
Why not?
He's not doing it
because this is his first time learning it. You just see.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all are assuming that this is the first time he's ever been through these type of moves before.
All right, go back to the very first one where he got frustrated. If the game was on the line, game over. Travel. Fucking started off with a travel. That's one turnover. Right? He don't know what to do. Look, go. Get out of there. Get out of there. Let's go. That right there, they don't want to do that move no more. Because that
was a good move, bro.
No, it wasn't.
No. It was a good
move. No defense. Defense.
It was a good move after he thought about what he needed. But what I'm saying is it was a good move after he thought about what he needed to do because of his feet.
That was beautiful.
That second plant right there, that hitch right there.
Of course, but so you're saying if Amari practiced that all summer 10,000 times, he couldn't make that feel natural?
Yeah, he can make that feel natural. Travel,
but he has to practice with somebody though. He can't be practicing it by himself and get a real damn feel.
Yeah, he's practicing.
These are not game reps. These are not game reps.
Go back. Look,
that's because they're learning the footwork.
Go back.
Y'all being disingenuous, bro.
No.
You learn the footwork without a basketball in your hand.
Rewind it. Look, go back to JaVale. Travel. Right. So you learn the footwork.
Like what? Like
okay, hold on. Pause it. You're learning the footwork, starting to move off, traveling. So what footwork are you learning? If when you get the ball, you're traveling. You're traveling. So where's the correction here? Did Hakeem is laughing? Did he say laughing? Is he saying, hold on, you're traveling? This is how you're supposed to do it. Because soon as you give him the ball, travel.
This is a 13-minute clip. Y'all have no idea what happened before this clip or after this clip. Y'all being disingenuous.
It don't matter. It's a travel in the clip. How many travels? Every time he's touched the ball, he's traveled. So how many times do I let you do this before I travel? How many times do I let you do it before I correct you? What am I getting paid $50,000 to do?
That's just like I said. You never know what happened before this clip and what he said. He could have easily went through some earlier talk.
Okay.
Hold on, real quick. Let me finish what I'm saying.
So Hakeem posts the clip of him not giving correction which is what he's getting being paid $50,000.
That's another.
If you're using the video as a sales pitch, you would show the correction.
How do you know he's using this as a sales pitch?
Okay, no. Fuck all that.
I'm saying, but hold on though. How do you know before this clip he could
wouldn't post it at all then? If
no.
Why not?
That makes difference.
Well, hold on, let me just at least let me say what I was trying to say before y'all attacked me. What I'm saying is he could have easily
We're sorry, Ox.
He did the training. He did the training before the camera turned on, right?
But wait, no, that's not what I'm saying either, though. Lamont. Let me just say this real quick, because it's easily he could be training right and tell him, look, this is the move we're doing. You're gonna keep running it through, keep running it over and over. You need to watch out for this, watch out for that. And then after they do this quick 13 minutes, y'all act like 13 minutes is a lifetime. He could do this 13 minutes and then go back over. How y'all know he not showing them this film? That's a very good way to learn. Showing them film and saying, look right there. You travel. Just like Gil's out here yelling, travel. He could be showing them this film after, like, that's a travel, JaVale. I know you think you're doing it right. That's a travel, Amari. You can't think you gotta go. That's y'all. So just like y'all saying.
Why is JaVale McGee never used any of these moves in the game to score?
What do you mean he's never used it?
That's not his game in the first place.
This 82 games in the season. You say he never used it is crazy, bro.
No. What I'm saying is, okay, look,
in the first place.
Hold on. So whatever he's telling them, before the camera started, he's showing them the move, right? And then they get here and travel. When do you correct them?
Like I said, maybe he's showing them the same thing y'all showing us, and he's pointing out that's in travel, because that's a very good way to learn, is by showing somebody what they're doing. A lot of times people think they're doing something and they're not really doing it. You show to them on film, like, look, that is a travel. This is what you need to work on. Keep that left foot down when you open up. Keep that pivot foot down when you open up. You can show it to him.
Did JaVale become effective in the post?
So basically you're saying,
no, he didn't.
Hey,
he didn't.
No, what I'm saying is I'm going to let you travel
for 13 minutes. Yeah.
For 13 minutes and then correct you when.
Why?
What I'm saying is I'm not saying 100% that's what he did. I'm just saying y'all are making assumptions, so I'm gonna
all we can see is we can see exactly what we're seeing. So as soon as he traveled the first time, stop. Slow down.
Why? JaVale can't see it though.
I know he can't. That's the point. It's so natural to him that he can't see that they're fucking up because he's not looking at the feet. He's looking at the ball. He's trying to understand all the other stuff because the feet is natural for Hakeem. So he's not looking at their feet placement. See, I'm starting from the bottom up. Hakeem is on the ball placement. Look at this shit. Travel.
When did he travel? Where was the travel right there?
Niggas acting like we don't have a whole body of work. Like, JaVale never developed this shit. So it's like, did it work?
Okay, there's the travel. I see the travel.
Okay.
I'm really not.
Let's go look up his highlights.
But that's what I'm saying. See, I don't have to slow the game. I don't have to slow it down to see the travel because I understand feet travel. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many times you going? These are motherfucking 50K a week. You shouldn't travel. I should. By the time we touch this floor, crazy. What I'm saying is, by the time, think about it. You're paying me 50 grand, right? You're paying me 50 grand, right? By the time we touch this floor, your ass ain't gonna be traveling because that's my job. By the time we did it in real time, that ain't even a fucking post-up move. You posted up with your booty out. It's just dumb. Come on. Who?
Damn.
You grab the ball. You're doing this. Come on. In the game where? This is supposed to be game-like. Look at this. Listen, if you're paying me, I'm still. If you pay, who the fuck you posted up like that? And you weigh that much travel? How many times are you gonna travel? You paying me to make you great. I will be ashamed if I'm Hakeem and I'm charging $50,000 and this is what y'all see.
If you're gonna pay me to travel, I'm Delta at this point.
God damn.
So are you saying that Giannis wouldn't be able to learn anything from Hakeem? Like, you're saying, like, basically, like, he wouldn't be able to retain it. I think he has some kind of soccer background, like.
No, what I'm saying is, all right, listen. If this is let's say
that he has the ability to be around him, like this, just give him time.
Travel.
I think I think you're saying that the time equity is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. So look at this time equity. Amari Stoudemire travel. Amari Stoudemire did this move 8 times, traveled all 8.
What I'm saying is this right there. That right there is not even a crazy.
I don't agree with none of this involving Amari Stoudemire and JaVale McGee. I
want the record to show that y'all act like these post moves that they're doing are elite or something.
Travel.
A lot of the stuff that you're saying, a lot of these moves have been basic shit. And if they're traveling doing it here, then they must be traveling during the game then too, right?
Exactly. No,
look at this. What is that? Not that one before.
Okay. Hold on. If these are basic, right? Travel. These are basic moves.
Not all of them, but
this right here is basic one-on-one move, right?
Yes.
That Amari's doing. He's traveled every single time he's done it. How the fuck can you get to travel? How can you get to any advancement? How do you get to the next level if he's traveling on level 1? So what happens in the game every time he tried this move? We're going to call it travel. That means he's never going to want to do it again. That's what I'm saying. Travel. Like, come on.
They don't really call travel on the stars like that, though, Gil. You know,
that's a basic drop. That's a basic travel.
Stop trolling, bro.
What I'm saying is he's traveling to a fuck the fadeaway. He can't get the first move. He can't get the first part down. How come Hakeem ain't correct this shit yet as a trainer? What's your name on a fucking building? This man traveled every time he's gotten a ball, and y'all wonder why he never posted up in the game. You wonder why he never had a back to the basket, because obviously in practice he travels it, and no one's correcting the behavior.
Yeah, I'm making these assumptions off of 13.
Hey, Gil, do you think the training gets less? You think it gets less effective the older Hakeem gets?
Yeah, of course. So Hakeem would need someone younger to demonstrate, even though it looked like he can still move. But the problem with this, the problem is going to always be with the athletic guys, right? They're using athleticism in moves that's footwork.
Yep.
They need footwork. So before we get to this point, we should be on ladders. We should be on the just anywhere. I don't need a court to teach footwork first. They need to understand the level 1 of just footwork. Basic. When you teaching dancing, right? There's a level of dancing before you get to be goddamn Chris Brown.
But what I'm saying is y'all don't know if they was on ladders before this. Have y'all been?
We have the body of work.
Wait.
Look at this and tell they wasn't on the damn
ladder. The tape don't lie, man. Yeah, the tape is kind of clear, man.
No. But this make you look bad then, because whatever the fuck they did at the beginning don't translate because they traveling.
Yeah.
The man got the move. 9-10 times and traveled all day. So what do you think they did before?
Gilbert, I expect more from you.
What I'm saying is, what do you think they did before to come in this to travel? Huh? What you think? Did you just think they were traveling? Like, yeah, will y'all get the ball? Like, look at how
they traveled to come travel.
Yeah, travel. Jesus Christ!
I wasn't a traveler.
Go back.
Hold on, let me go back.
Travel off the catch.
Hey, okay. Can I say that?
I was going to travel.
Can I just say this? Can I say this?
He traveled because Gilbert said so.
Go back.
Because he did him bounce it and he took 2 steps off the catch.
Okay, go back. Look at Hakeem. So his foot is already there. Look at Hakeem. His foot's still stuck before his right foot travel.
His right foot stayed down.
Hakeem's foot is staying down, but he don't not look. Watch. Look at Hakeem when he's
okay. That's not a travel, bro. Come on, stop it.
But the footwork is
now y'all being disingenuous just to prove y'all point.
Hey, Gil, do you think it's easier to fix the shooting form or the footwork?
Yeah, he traveled.
It depends on your mechanics where you at.
It's all mechanics, like your hand placement, like John Wall, right? So the reason John Wall couldn't shoot at the beginning is when he picked the ball up. He picked it up like this first. So by the time he jumped, he had to unravel the shoe. So he caught the ball, he'd catch it like this, and then he has to do this versus already here. So first, right? He has to catch a ball here first to go up versus here. So you have to spend weeks and weeks to throw the ball so he didn't catch the shit like this. So before we even get to the mechanics, right, you have to teach him how to catch the ball first.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Versus saying, no, you just got to put up shots. So when I went down, this is fucking, he got traded this year though. He ended up getting traded. It was the last year before he got traded to Houston that summer. And I'm teaching him they're teaching him to shoot. I'm teaching him how to catch the fucking ball first. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, what y'all teaching him shooting for? He needs to learn how to catch first. Did the same shit I told him his rookie season. He's 8-9 years in, he's still catching the ball the same. The reason he can't shoot the ball is because by the time he gets to this, he's already coming back down.
I was asking that because I was wondering if it was better for him to take the $50K and then go pay maybe Lethal Shooter or some shit versus trying to develop the footwork.
Like even someone like Lethal, right? He's teaching something that is natural to him. Mm-hmm. He's teaching something that is natural to him, trying to give it to NBA players. That's why most of the players, they're failing in the game.
So you saying it's like Lil Wayne, right? Like being a great rapper. Mm-hmm. He can't teach us how to rap because it naturally just comes to him. So he may not be able to teach us, well, this is how you catch, this right here. This is how you write a hook. We could probably work on how to rap and try to get good, but we'll never be as great as him because it naturally just comes to him.
Your processor's not going to be as good as his.
It's just like a battle. No. It's just like a battle rapper and a rapper, right? A battle rapper versus someone who can make a song, right? Two different people, right? And there's a reason that they can't translate to because they don't know how to make a song.
Shout out to Rum.
They know how to rap, right? They don't know how to turn it into a song. Same thing with this. I need to turn you into a post player to understand the concept of it, right? But what? Yeah, Giannis is better off charging Hakeem $50K to teach him how to Euro dunk. Hakeem what's so funny is Hakeem will understand how to do Giannis versus Giannis learning how to do Hakeem. Because
that's a fair point.
Because Hakeem already has the footwork, so you can teach him any move, he would pick it up faster.
But Gil, are there not examples in NBA history of guys like Jason Kidd who came into the NBA with no jump shot, highly athletic guard, and then he gets a jump shot and makes the ball late in his career? Aren't there guys like yeah, but even the guy who did it throughout his whole career and who didn't have a jump shot in the beginning of his career, and he had one, a guy like Chris Bosh who doesn't shoot that many threes, plays with LeBron and D Wade and develops that. Brook Lopez was back to the basket, then becomes perimeter center. And so are there not examples of guys evolving throughout their career?
I can give you a better example. I got drafted with Jason Richardson. The boy couldn't shoot a gun, right? He got so frustrated that they was treating him like how they do Westbrook and how they do Ben Simmons. He was so upset with himself that he couldn't shoot the ball. So he asked me, he said, yo, how do I get my jumper like yours? I said, well, shit. I've been shooting this jumper for years now. But I said, what you need to do, I said, you have great mechanics. You just need to put volume in. You need to sit on this machine every day. Shoot no less than 700 shots. No less than 7. That's what you need to do all summer. Nothing but jumpers. Just get the jumper part right. Fuck the one dribble pull up. Just get the basic mechanics of catch, shoot.
Hey, Gil, I heard they made you sit down because you was in the gym too much at late night. You fucked your elbow up. Is that true?
No, they thought I was gonna get elbow tendonitis.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was taking.
You're talking about slam dunk champion Jason Richardson, right?
Yes.
Slam dunk champion.
And he became an elite 3-point shooter. But it started from the summer. Every single day we trained that jumper. 700 on the gun. He didn't take not a day off. And it didn't translate the first year. It didn't translate. It took him 2-3 years before it actually translated for it to be consistent. But we're talking about 6 months.
I got a question for you, Gil.
That's how, but look at the dedication. There's only a few people that's gonna dedicate. When you have success doing something, this is the problem. It ain't Hakeem, it ain't Giannis. It's success. Think about what I'm saying. I am a back-to-back or two-time MVP. I'm an NBA champion. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong that I need to change?
George, before you ask that question, can I just say this?
Hold on, let me go to George. Hold on.
I got a question for you, Gil.
I gotta go to George. He's been waiting.
How much of your skill did you develop at Arizona, and what makes you guys think that Giannis didn't play soccer? He's not from America.
So I ran track. I played football. Growing up, so I had the understanding of foot placement, and so when I learned basketball, which was in 90, or when I took it serious was 96, the 96 Olympics, when I quit track and decided to just focus on basketball. What excelled me is I already understood the basic knowledge of placement, foot placement, course placement, and angles, right? So I was self-taught. I didn't have a trainer. I trained myself. I can just watch NBA players like, all right, he's left-handed. No, thank you. Okay, I got this guy. I can use this. I can use Kenny Smith. I can use these guys. Hakeem. I'm using it, writing it, and then I can go to the court and work for hours, right? When I went to Arizona, they took the ball out of my hand. But what I had the understanding of, ball movement and moving without the ball. So when I got there, they ran no play, not a one play for me.
You didn't have trainers?
In Arizona, no. I didn't have a trainer. So all I understood is, all right, he's a passer. I'm going to backdoor Yale. So if you look at my highlights, it's all it's me is just running around, cutting and backdoors.
Yeah.
So when I got to the NBA, Chris Mullin was my first trainer.
In college basketball, you didn't have no trainers.
Ray just said he didn't have a trainer, man.
College basketball, a college basketball rebounder is a walk-on.
All right.
Let me teach the NBA. You know who the first NBA trainer was? Phil Hanley. That was the first real trainer in the NBA in 2010. So that means employed by the NBA to be a trainer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was the first. And so when I played, if you look at me working out, I'm working out with a ball boy. That's a fucking ball boy rebounding for me.
Well, I'm saying because Gus Armstead was training many of the Kings players back when I was in middle school.
Yeah, in the summer when your season's over with, you go down for a weekend and 2 weeks here and there. It's 2 weeks a week here. No one's sitting in nobody's 6 months. No one understands that these guys don't have the knowledge. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the discipline of the Kobe. They don't have the discipline of someone like Jimmy Butler. Like there's only like 10, but you can see how they play in the NBA with their development, how they understand. Like, can you really say what has Giannis gotten better with? Hold on.
Passing.
No.
Yeah, he became a better passer.
He did?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
From his rookie year?
Significantly better passer. Yes. From his rookie year?
Hey, can someone go to Google and look up Giannis draft profile and tell me what his strengths are and weaknesses? I guarantee his strengths is passing, coming full court, dribbling the ball. The same shit he's doing now. He just gotten stronger and wiser. And then you're going to see everything he lacks in his weakness is going to be the same things he has now.
I got his scouting report right here.
I have it as well.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you. So when we go to you want me to go to his weaknesses?
Go to his weaknesses and strengths. What is his strengths?
So strengths, it says athletic wing with remarkable 7'3" wingspan, incredibly huge hands. He still is in the development stage and has grown 3 inches since last year. Let me just scroll down. He says he's able to change directions off the dribble with the ball in his hands with incredible smoothness and quickness, which is probably the Euro. Getting to the rim while maintaining excellent balance. His athletic wingspan make him able to cover 4 positions on the floor, showing great versatility. He has natural feel for the game, good basketball IQ with good passing skills and instincts, and potential to become a point forward at the next level. And it's now we'll go to his weaknesses.
And that's him coming into the NBA. Now, what is his weaknesses?
It says obviously it says I'll just read it all. It says his level of competition is a big concern. It makes judging his talent at the current level very difficult. Without question, he has a large basement with a large ceiling as well. Despite his athletic abilities, he lacks elite explosiveness. He has to bulk up, working especially in his lower body since he's definitely too skinny against NBA opponents. It says the concern is how to develop him correctly from the muscular standpoint and to avoid the loss of speed and mobility. His game off ball is rather weak, especially related to spacing, using screens and cuts. In fact, most of his offensive production happens with the ball in his hands. The only exception is when he's slashing to the basket for putbacks or on the break. Plus, he basically has no mid-range game. He tends to attack the rim without considering the option of a pull-up jumper. He shoots 31% from the three-point line, showing good potential, but he lacks consistency. His mechanics seem unnatural and not fluent. It says on the defensive side, he still needs to learn the basics since he's beaten by opponents due to lack of proper positioning and comprehension. And that's basically how they summarize him, his weaknesses right there.
Okay, so this is when he was 18 years old.
Yep.
That's still him today, correct?
Yeah.
Has anything developed out of his weaknesses, and then his strengths are still his strengths? So this is what I'm saying.
Only thing I would say is that it's explosiveness. That's the only thing I would say that's different from his weaknesses.
So his explosiveness, but that came with because he got stronger.
Yeah.
Right? So the only thing that's changed in there is he actually picked up the bulk, but everything else is still his weakness.
Agree.
Hey, Ma, what were you looking at for the scouting report?
I'm on NBA draft.net.
So Gil, you can't get better at your strengths though. So your strengths can't become stronger.
No, you can. But did his?
Mm-hmm.
Did his?
No, I would say no. I would say yes. I think his ball handling
improved. Now go to here's a different player. Go to Steph Curry. Go to Steph Curry's coming into the draft profile.
I got you.
And I guarantee you, when you say his weaknesses, it won't sound like the player we see today.
Yeah, his weaknesses are the same.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But also, Steph Curry's weaknesses are not the same.
Why you're gonna see?
No, and not Steph Curry. I'm talking about Giannis. Giannis' weaknesses are the same. I agree.
His weaknesses are. So we go to Steph Curry. We know what his strengths are. I'll just go straight to his weaknesses. It says far below NBA standard in regard to explosiveness and athleticism. Extremely small for the NBA shooting guard position. Will likely keep him from being much of a defender at the next level. Although he's playing point guard this year, he's not a natural point guard at the NBA level.
Thank you.
Struggles defensively to get around screens. Can overshoot and rush into shots from time to time. He hasn't had to deal with getting benched due to poor shooting performances, which has allowed him to shoot through any slumps. We'll have to adjust to not being a volume shooter, which could have an effect on his effectiveness. It says despite it doesn't like when defenses are too physical with him, not a great finisher around the rim and the basket because of his size and physical attributes. It makes silly mistakes at the point guard positions, needs to add muscle to his upper body, and appears to be too skinny. Those are his weaknesses. And he's actually addressed probably the majority of those things, if not all.
Right. I mean, besides the defense and stuff, but a great, like a horrible finisher. Now he's a great finisher. What I'm saying is there's some guys that no matter how much success they have, they're still trying to improve their skill. This is the same thing. What Giannis is
trying to do. Improve his skill.
What I mean is what's happening with Giannis is no different than what happened with Westbrook. And I called it a long time ago. Yeah, you're averaging a triple-double today, but eventually if you don't learn how to get skillful, when the explosion slows down just a little bit, it's going to hurt your game, right? There's a reason he has trouble against Miami.
Antonio McDyess.
Because he needs the skill to beat. They're taking away his athleticism. So he needs the skill. So that's why Joker can look amazing against them because he don't need athleticism. He can just use his skill. Giannis needs the skill, but that's why they kind of hurt him in games against them, because they're going to say, we're not going to let you use what you want to do. You're going to have to use shit you worked on, and that's not coming full court now. But you have to.
Quick question. Were you saying with the jump shot thing, right?
Now, I want to ask you about this. He's going to Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a flaw in the movement, does it look like Hakeem corrects it?
Not in that
13-minute clip?
Yeah.
He's trying to learn how to play with his back to the basket.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we've seen examples. Does it look like we've seen two examples. When LeBron was doing it, does it look like he's micromanaging the correction?
It did look like it with LeBron to me. It looked like it was with LeBron. I will admit in the other one, I didn't see that.
But you was trolling still.
I wasn't trolling. I was saying that I think he was letting him work it out, and I think he tried. I
can't let you. What I'm saying is,
I was serious.
You're paying me. What I'm saying is,
he should micromanage.
You're paying me $50,000 a week to micromanage you.
That means
I need to know. What I'm saying is, okay, you're an NBA player. You want me to get you better. That means I need to micromanage. That means you cannot travel the first time.
Well, let me say once. Obviously, I've never trained anybody at that level. I train kids. You know what I'm saying? So I might look at it different. They're obviously not paying me $50,000 a week.
Take the money away. Are you gonna let your kids travel 8 times before you correct them?
You have to really micromanage kids. You have to really micromanage.
This is what I will say. And obviously, I have more time. I have more time, right? So I will, and that's why I gave the point I said earlier. I will try to have make him work on the move, and if it's an uncomfortable thing for him, I'll let him keep going. Just keep going, and they just keep trying. See how it feels. Get comfortable, even trying to move, and then I will go back after, and we'll stop. Okay, let's do it again. Look, when you do it, I'll get the ball, show him how to do it the proper way. Now, next time, do this, do that. Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I've let kids do something wrong for a little bit amount of time, just because it's not. I mean, what I'm saying is it's about comfortability, letting them get comfortable trying different moves, You're not going to get it right on the first time.
You don't want to give them reps.
I don't want to give you bad reps.
Thank you. Those are bad reps, bro.
Look, they're going hard. Like Amari Stoudemire is going hard in a travel. What do you think? What do you think he's going to do in the game when he try that move? 90%.
If we're assuming that he didn't go back and correct it,
90% of what he did was a travel. So you got to assume that if he got the ball 10 times, he's going to travel 9.
Right. That's counterintuitive.
Right. That's just.
Well, let me ask you, Gil, because what I saw in that video, to your point, was very clear about the uncomfortability. It seemed like they were trying to be like Hakeem more than be like Amari, for example, right? So when trainers taught you, or when you seeked evolution in your game, did trainers teach you how to be you better, or did they teach you things that you didn't know about and that may have been uncomfortable in the beginning, and then you learned to perfect it in school and he had no
so this is what I was good. I was a great mimic, right? So I'll train when I got to the NBA. What's his name? Edon. His name was Edon. He was a big trainer back then. Melo, all the guys. I'll train with him one time, process everything he was teaching me, and then do it myself.
I just said that earlier, and y'all was saying you can't do that.
Not everybody can do that.
But you got to have what I'm saying is,
can do that.
There's 450 NBA players, right? Maybe 20. There's only 20 who mentally is good enough to do. You can teach it to me. I can go home and master it. Like there's only 10 to 15 guys. You can give Joker, but this is what I'm saying. You got to go back to, if it has to do with footwork, if they don't have the foundation, you're thinking about the house. I'm talking about the foundation of the house. Once you have the foundation, that means if my foundation has been approved for earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, lightning, fucking rocket launcher. If I done built this to understand the concept of everything that can possibly tear this down, it has to start at the base level first. So that means I already had the base level done. I understood the base level. Now you can teach me anything. All right, cool. There's some guy like like Nick Young. You can teach Nick Young the move you display at one time and then let him go. He will master that move. What he don't know how to is play basketball. Out of what?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
I can't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll read it for you. Giannis is one of those 20 hard workers you speak of, ...
Then why hasn't he learned a move or cleared any of his weaknesses? What Giannis is
because and that's what I've been trying to say for like the last like hour and a half. I had to back away and it sort of got chaotic. But what I was trying to say before I head out, because it's almost midnight, I gotta go. What I'm trying to get you, what I was trying to get to is we have a new head coach in Milwaukee. I'm saying we because I'm a Milwaukee fan. We have a new head coach. This head coach, what I'm hearing, he comes from Toronto. Have y'all watched Toronto? Did y'all watch Toronto last year? What they had going with Pascal, who's running the 4/5 last year. They had him operating in the post. Granted, due to them not having a whole lot of like great shooters, so it sort of like was counterintuitive, but that's sort of what they did. Adrian Griffin was one of those people that pushed that motion forward for Nick Nurse to do that. So my theory, I don't know this, and I don't assume you know this, Gil, but my theory is the reason why Giannis is going now is because he's probably gotten the word from Adrian Griffin, hey, when you come to training camp, we're working on this. And so he's hitting up Hakeem because, hey, I want to start learning post moves so I can actually be my best version of myself, or I can start being the best version of myself in the post when I get into this new system.
I told you Jason Richardson took 700 to 1,000 shots a day for six straight months.
I didn't say he was going there to be right away. I said he was going there to start to begin the foundation for him to start to become that best version of himself in the post.
Then he's a stupid coach because I would have told Giannis that he should have started that shit as soon as our season ended.
Well, he was dealing with that injury. He had to recover from that as well.
Again, it's post.
Been in the league for 10 years.
There's basic knowledge. Feet move. You can do movement with your feet before it gets physical.
And then when it comes to that, I think you're being disingenuous. I think you're being disingenuous to the skill set in which Hakeem, at the very least, can be able to teach these players that have elite talent. And I also think you're being disingenuous to Giannis. And
you haven't given us one player he's successfully taught anything.
The worst thing a coach has ever said.
Well, no, I've given you like 3 names.
No, you haven't.
So don't do that with me.
You haven't given us anybody that he successfully trained.
You gave
Lamont, I got to
You gave successful people who was already successful in the footwork. Hakeem's, like you're trying to add it. Oh, we're gonna give you, Kobe, who was already great at Melo, who was already great. No, give us somebody besides the 2 guards that were already great at footwork. You can't. So don't even think about it. But this is the problem.
So Kobe and LeBron are off the book.
Yes, the 3-time All-Star. They was already great with footwork. They were already ISO players.
That's what I don't understand. I don't know why y'all acting like yes, they had the footwork capability. They had the footwork already like set in pure form, like for the majority of their career.
If I told you this man,
that footwork was different from the
If I told you this man is trained 100 NBA players, would you feel comfortable keep saying the same 2?
No. And to that point, that's why I wanted to ask you, is it fair to say that maybe he's better with guards, wings, because he also helped Steve Nash, but we won't talk about that. But, so is he better? Right. So would you say that maybe he's better with guards and wings, helping them grow more accustomed in the post?
Because they already have the footwork.
Because the guards, what does the guards already have to be a guard? Footwork.
That's fine, but the way that they utilize that footwork.
But I told you this already. I said if DeMar Johnson, these guards paid 50, no problem. You big man, y'all thinking he's a big man. Hakeem was a big man body, but he was a guard player. That's what his advantage.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich called him a small forward in a center's body.
Yes. So that's what I said. So these big men are saying, oh, I'm going there to get Hakeem feet when he was playing like a small forward. So small forwards, shooting guards, and guards can pick it up easy because they have the baseline of feet.
Again, what I said earlier. So then your problem is more so with the trainees than the trainers for not having fundamental skills.
Oh, it's the training.
The training, because you don't understand that you are not a big man. You don't have self-awareness to understand they need to start from the bottom. So if you're not a guy who can translate the basic 101, the basics of 101, then you're going to be horrible at, like, if you want to learn defense in boxing from Mayweather, he can break it down to the beginning. He will teach you easier how to be a defensive player than Mike Tyson can teach you how to be offensively gifted, because his strength and speed and his lower body power and how he can turn his hips is natural. So he can't teach you the pickaboo move to the level that he had it, because what made it great for him is his natural gift that God gave him. But Mayweather can teach you, he can teach you the role easier, but you have to understand, you as a trainer, what your flaw is. And obviously Hakeem don't know his flaw is. He's teaching at master class when he needs to be teaching at beginner's class with beginners. He's trying to teach mastering to beginners.
But Giannis isn't a beginner though. Let's be real.
He is a beginner. He's a beginner.
He would be Giannis. Yes, he would be.
He's a beginner at post,
bro.
Yeah, he would be a good. Yes. Yeah, oh, so you saying he's a lead poster?
He's not elite. Okay. He's not elite post, but he has footwork. He's got the crossover. He's got the Euro. He's got the fundamental.
I would say he's got the
aspect of it. No. He's a beginner at what they're trying to teach him.
Back to the basket with all the finesse, maybe, but the footwork.
So he need to be 6 months. His footwork is left to right Euro, right to left Euro. We're talking about
what his scouting report said.
That's exactly what his scouting report said. Don't forget the spin move.
No. What I'm saying is, Giannis is great at long feet placement.
Right.
Long feet, like gaining ground. Right? Stuff I try to teach from the half court to the free throw line or to the basket, taking less steps. Well, Hakeem is taking micro steps. So you have to micro yourself. That's the problem with the athletic people. They want to use big steps for this move when it's small stepping.
Right.
It's chop steps.
Right.
And that's what he needs to understand. Like, oh, there's go. This is what you guys need to lead smaller steps. So chop your steps. Instead of 1-2 steps, I need to turn it into 3-4 steps.
3-4, right. But also, I would ask for Giannis's situation, the only reason why I think that Hakeem can show him different platforms and different viewpoints where he's seeing in the post to generate double teams. I don't think it's to necessarily make such a huge impact in terms of scoring out of the post. I think the impact would be a little bit better with the vision that he has and the passing that is pretty decent. I think it would help him if he did have certain drop step move. You know what I mean? I think there's just certain power moves that they can learn.
You don't need it. But I'm saying is you don't need to go down to Hakeem to learn the basic drop step. Okay, listen, we read his weakness, right?
Right.
From his scouting report.
From his scouting report when he was 18 years old, right?
Yep.
Right.
Now, you just said he's one of those 20 that works hard.
Absolutely.
So how the fuck he ain't cleaned up none of his weaknesses and they're still his weaknesses today, right? Because working hard and being smart is two different things. Like when a coach used to tell you, hey, go out there and play hard. That was the dumbest shit you can tell a kid. Play hard and smart. Right? I don't need you going out there just running around with your head cut off because you're going 1,000 miles. Westbrook plays hard. Westbrook plays hard. God damn it. You see how that shit turns out. I don't need you going out there just running in there, motherfucker, like a bat out of hell. That's how he plays, a bat out of hell. I need you to start playing with intelligence.
Right.
So time out. I want you. What did you say about how the fuck Giannis didn't do what? How has he developed what?
What did he develop? You heard his strength and you heard his weaknesses. So what has he developed?
Talking about the weaknesses.
He has developed. Okay. All right.
He's developed strength.
If you have to ask Mr. Gilbert Arenas what Giannis has developed in his 8-9 years, I think this would be his 10th year in the NBA. Then we had. I don't.
Do you want me to read them off one by one?
You want to read his weaknesses? You want to read his strengths? So look, when we say his strengths, that means you take those out. Right? Take those strengths out because that's what he naturally has. Now we say, what is his weaknesses? Now, if they say his weaknesses is posting up, if his weaknesses is post up, mid-range, creating space, not having the ball, being dominant, now we say, what has he developed?
Now you do realize, especially like this year is not a good sample size of this year is not a good year of speaking on Giannis's offensive development. But the 2-3 years prior, you do realize he improved as a 3-point shooter and a mid-range shooter, right?
Because he shot less shots.
No, because he shot more.
He did.
Yeah, he shot more.
How many more?
1 to 2.
One to two. Do you know how they count the mid range? They count the mid range as long as it's not a layup or a dunk. They considered it in part of mid range. So mid range in shot charting. Shot chart.
Mm-hmm.
Anything outside of the key is when mid range actually counts. So let's say he shot a
10-footer?
Right below a free throw line. Right before the free throw line, the free throw line.
10-footer?
But they count 10-footer as a mid-range shot. Mm-hmm. And then any shot outside of the paint on the free throw line, which is a lot shorter than the free throw line, they're going to count that as a mid-range too.
Oh, don't worry, I got you. I got his shot chart right here. I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, brother. You know we don't use the NBA.com shot chart.
There's his shot chart right there. This is not NBA. This is his shot chart.
So where's the mid range?
That's that news.
So
that's his shot chart.
So now to think about the mid range. The mid range, when you talk about it ain't the key. The mid range ain't the full key. It starts at the free throw line, but then here put the arrow like a little bit further, like right a little bit. Go about a little bit right there. So that equals a little bit further, where that dark blue. No, to the left. More to no. A little bit more. Right there. That's right there. That's where a mid-range jumper will start.
Start from, right?
It does not start at that damn where you set up at the line. That's the dot. That's the dotted line inside where it comes to the free throw line. So
that's a floater.
That's still a floater layup. Right. So they're gonna count that as, oh, Giannis is getting better from that area. No.
Yeah, because he shot 42% from this wing right here.
Yeah,
him is just basically floater layups. He wasn't.
Now go a little bit for 3 of 7. He was 3 of 7. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. In the season, come on, low volume. We know that. Okay, so
come on, let's just be. Come on, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. If he was really developing, he would be so comfortable with just pulling up. But he's not. He wants to get to the lane. We know that.
I have a question.
That man took 1 out of 5 shots from right there. What?
Yeah, that's insane.
What? Come on.
I got a question though.
Go back to that dotted. Go right to inside that dotted. This man is pulled up 1 for. Come on. This is come on, y'all.
That's crazy.
What are we talking about?
Hey, what is this shot clock, man?
What are we talking?
But Gil, don't
he
you
should have
think
did that per game?
Oh, that's his rookie season, bro. Hey, stop it. Hey, go to last season, Lamar. Hey, what are we doing, bro?
Don't you think it would be
that was his rookie season? No. You could have just slided that chart. You could have just slided
Put me in the big screen. Put me in the big.
No, go back to that chart. Yeah, you could have just slided it.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're right.
I actually got to go pick up my daughter. Damn, I want to get some more. Look at that.
Still no better. It's still not better.
No. He was in the last year. I just said the last 3 years. So that's 1920, 21, 2021.
Hey, I gotta go, guys.
22.
All right. Salute, Gil. Appreciate it, man.
Salute, Gil.
Hey, Gil. Appreciate you for showing up, brother. You are so nasty, man, bro.
Hold on. What year do you want me to go to?
I said his outside of this past year, the 3 years prior, he was much improved around.
Okay, hold on. So we'll go here.
Yeah, he improved that.
This shit ain't improved.
League average above league average is improved,
mid-range shooter compared to where he was before.
Just like Gil said, for a 7-footer, these are floaters and layups, bro. He's jumping from here to take a layup. Yeah, that's at the free throw. That's right at the rim still. And he's not even.
And then for you to hit, you wanna know what's crazy, Young Africa? This nigga Mont literally went to his rookie year.
No, I didn't know
nothing.
I think that was a mistake. I
didn't know. I didn't know you could slide. That was a mistake. But look, when you if you look, hold on, look, let's watch this. The crazy thing about his shot chart is he hasn't developed his offensive game as far as where he takes his shot so much so that if you look throughout his career, he will not shoot from this side of the floor at all. Any shots that are considered jumpers that he might take just come from this wing. So like, and he'll take the top of the key three. Like if we scroll through his career, we'll go to the next year. This side right here, nothing developed. When I'm looking as a coach and I'm looking at how to scout Giannis, I'm pushing him to this side of the floor to do everything.
Exactly.
Right. So that's a weakness you can scout out. You don't think the Boston Celtics and some of the most elite defensive teams in the league see this shit? And then when he starts to struggle in the playoffs efficiency-wise, this might be why. It's things like this. So when you look at this makes you easier to defend. And when you're not, and what happens is when you go into the offseason and you're not putting up quality reps in areas of your weakness. And when I say quality reps, I'm talking about game reps, game speed reps. Your shot chart looks the same like this on a year in and year out basis. And really with no improvement. Because you're talking about improvement. I don't see improvement.
Then go.
I don't see no improvement.
No. Go forward. You went back down to 2018.
I'm going year by year. Hold on. Let me drop the link for Bees. Real quick. Hold
on. And then also for Giannis, don't you think like it would be harder to game plan if his post game was a little bit better? Because the fact that the shooting, I think it might be a depth perception thing too. Like, you know what I mean? It might just be his hands is too big, and like when he shoots, it just always has an awkward, you know what I mean, motion. I don't think
I can scroll this and then we can see it change year by year, right?
Because I don't think he's going to be a consistent jump shooter.
What year you want me to start? You want me to start from here?
You start 19, 20, and go to 21, 22.
We'll start from his rookie year to see his progression offensively.
Okay, that's fair.
Boom. Shots are still taken from the same wing, still not shooting over here, still shooting in a low percentage everywhere else. This right here is not bad, but he's still not taking a ton of those shots. This year, he wasn't taking any threes. We'll go up.
From that summer, already told him
he's still not shooting from this wing over here. Still shooting a low percentage here from the top at the top of the key. Really not shooting from this wing at all right here. That's 2015, 2016. We'll go to the next year. He's still not shooting from this whole side of the court over here. So we see what his weakness is. He's still dominant. It's just finishing at the rim, not really attacking on this wing over here. Obviously, the three-point line is irrelevant for him. So we'll go up. Same situation. Still not taking shots on this side of the court. Dominant in the paint, finishing at the rim. Mid-range is still looking shoddy because 34% right here is below league average. This is below league average. This is below league average. This is below league average. And everything else is below league average. We'll scroll up again. Same situation, 2018, 2019. We see mostly post shots at the rim. Nothing really on the wings. That's why Gil said he needs to develop that pull-up jump shot so he can be a bit more versatile in these areas, and he's not as easy to defend.
And he got exposed going against the Raptors.
Let's go up. Still, remember, and this is why they need shooting around him because he really only operates in this area. Now this year,
why go away from
a little bit more from the top of the key, but he's about at league average at the top of the key. Right here. But it really pull-up jumper in the wings, no, really non-existent. So we see marginal improvements, but it's really right here at the top of the key.
There's an improvement. Got you. Okay. So then this year?
Again, still this whole side of the court, he's really irrelevant.
Okay.
Dominates in the paint. Top of the key three actually declined in percentage. So he got a little worse there. And over here, he's still below league average everywhere else.
No, he's not.
like
No, he's
MVP
not. No,
yards,
he's not.
bro.
No,
These
he's
are
not.
Where?
No, he's not. Stop.
Where is he not below league average?
He shot 44.9% from
Where? Where?
on the literally on the baseline. Baseline. Go back to the baseline. He shot 44.9.
Where?
Wait, what year are you on? Oh,
Oh,
never
no.
mind. We're a year ahead. I'm a year ahead.
So we go to the next year.
Next year.
Okay, so remember, these are practically layups, but it was above league average by 3%. 29% from the top of the key.
At the elbow, he shot 7% above league average.
Okay, we'll give him that.
At the top of the free throw line,
but hold on. But do you still see a consistent problem? He's still one half of the court dominant. He's still not taking shots on this entire side.
No. That's fine, but you're seeing
that's not fine.
No, it's fine because you're seeing improvement.
No, but hold on. Okay, so hold on. Why did if it's improvement, if it's improvement, then why did that 47% drop to 31% the next year?
It was I told you, outside of this year, because this year was a down year for him, granted, because he was hurt for 30 games this year. This is a strange year.
So basically that 47%, it looks like just a one-off because it happened once and it immediately went back down to far below.
He was in the middle of improving and then he has a down year.
In the middle of improvement.
I don't think he's ever going to be this phenomenal shooter.
He doesn't have to be phenomenal, but to be at the very least.
I think
low average.
Hold on, let me Bees wanted to pull up on this, man. Let me get Bees. Bees, what's good, man?
Bees can swap out with me. I have to go. Man, it's midnight. I'm still in there in the hospital, nigga. They've been
all right, man.
All right, much love.
Hold on, Bees still on mute.
I got a question for you, Lamont.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. We hear you
now.
No,
I think it's hard for players to understand what Gilbert's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because people think that these organizations are actually developing players, but they're just developing them to fit their role. If a player is going to develop, it's on you. That is all on you. So most players don't have the fortitude to put that work in that it takes to be great. Most of them just won't get paid, go home and play video games or chase hoes or whatever. They all come in talented, so they all can do whatever they want to do. But Westbrook is the quintessential guy for Iverson, all of these guys. As soon as their athletic ability goes away, Roy Jones, these were just talented, super talented players who never developed their skill. As soon as Roy Jones lost his legs, knockout city, baby. No fundamentals. So I think what Gilbert's saying is 100% spot on.
So, but do you think that due to the players in the NBA come into the NBA?
I don't think that Giannis is going to ever develop as a jump shooter. So for him to just try to force and they say, yo, just keep working on that, I think it's easier for him to find some ways to manipulate in the post. I think it's not so much just him being so much of this dominant post scorer. I think it's just to create the gravity.
But it's what Gil said. To become a better shooter, you have to, have the self-awareness to understand that I have to start back to the basics. So you have to find a trainer. First, you have to find the right trainer. First, you have to try to find a trainer that's going to be diligent enough to stay with you in the gym 5 to 6 hours a day. So you're grinding to get your mechanics right from the basics. And now you have to take them back to square one. So now we have to look at your jumper and say, okay, this is what's going on with your jumper. Now we have to make a dedicated effort on fixing your mechanics first. What's going on in your mechanics that's screwing your jumper up? And Gilbert even talked about this already. These players that are super athletic that play so fast, their biggest problem is they play so fast, they don't know how to slow down when it's time to shoot the basketball. Giannis is going head of steam so fast up and down the court. He don't know how to go from fast to slow and then slow down, because the best jump shooters, it almost looks like they're taking their time when they shoot and they're getting the shot off, no matter who's contesting.
Well,
they're taking
there's
their time.
Everything is fast until the right point, and then it just slows down very fluidly.
There's one more factor that you have to figure into this too, right? And that is the current media. So Giannis is a dominating big. When you make that transition may look ugly. So for him to go to being more of a jump shooter, that means he's gonna get some really bad press for a while. And are you willing to do that? Are you willing to have your name butchered like that? The best example I can give you of this is Tiger Woods. When he was in his heyday, and I don't know how many of you guys remember Tiger Woods' heyday. People called him crazy because every 3 years he was changing his swing. They were saying, why are you changing your swing when you're the best golfer in the world? But he wasn't changing his swing for the guys he was competing against. He was changing his swing for the guys he was teaching who was coming to dethrone him. He was actively breaking himself down every 2 to 3 years and reinventing himself. That's how he stayed at the top.
But also, he was compensating because he started to get more injury prone, so he had to.
No, he wasn't compensating. He got injury. He got injured doing more and more physical workouts because he was changing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then he had to change his swing based off those physical.
So what I'm saying is, if you're Giannis at this point, you're a superstar. Do you want to go through the trials and tribulations that it's going to take for you to come out the other side with guys like Stephen A. and Skip Bayless and these dudes barbecuing you every day? And now guys like me and you on the internet barbecuing you every day. Do you really
I don't think he needs to transform that much, though. You're talking about like a complete transformation, whereas I think if he gets a jumper and a three-point shot, he just has to do that at a league average level. He doesn't have to transform everything.
You're missing the point. What you're asking him to do is Greek to him. He's got to change everything to do what you think is just a little add-on. He can't do it.
Yeah. What do you think I'm talking about? What am I saying he needs to change?
Changing his steps from a big step to a small step, I think that's going to be very foreign to him.
Yes,
taking choppy steps.
You think that a player can just add a little more range and he'll be good. Just keep playing the same way, Giannis, and just add a little more range.
That is what I'm saying.
And you brought up Ben Simmons. You've seen how difficult it is for him to do it. You have example of example. There's not that many LeBron Jameses. Giannis has improved. He got bigger and stronger, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that took his game to another level because it increased his strength. But there's still room for him to grow. Maybe he can get there in 5 years. Maybe he can get there in 7 years. But he's not going to get there the way you think he's going to get there. It's going to be more about what Gilbert said. It's a long road for him to achieve what you think is a small addition.
For example, this was interesting, right? That's why I said to Gil, and I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm gonna give you an example, right? And this was a guy in Brook Lopez, right? He was a leading scorer of his team once upon a time when he was playing for the Nets, right? He went, and for the New Jersey Nets, right? He went from averaging 0.1 3-point attempts in one season, right, to averaging 5 the next season. His stat line didn't change that much. His blocks are pretty much, he averaged 20 points per game, but he starts shooting 5 threes per game and averages league average 34% from 3, right? When you do that, your whole game transforms. And so the aesthetic.
Not true.
The aesthetic, what do you mean not true? And so he had the jumper, he had the mid-range jumper, and he extended.
And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
True?
I'm telling you why you're wrong. Because you're looking at the result. You didn't see any of the work. You don't know how long it took before the coach was confident. No, you don't know how long it took. One season he
averaged 0 point something. Next season it was 5.
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Bro, I'm not talking about the work, Bees.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about because you
No. That's fair, and we don't know how fast
listen to
Giannis
what
can
the
develop.
fuck
We don't know
I'm
how
trying
much
to
he's been
tell
working on it.
you.
Hold on,
So
Africa. Let him get it
educated.
finished, and then you can go.
You just don't go from shooting 0 threes to 5. You
He
got to
literally
be green,
did, bro.
bro. Stop. You got to be green lighted to do that. You have to prove your work somewhere else before the coach will green light that. You don't know how long it took for him to get that, to be able to shoot that ball. You just seeing it on paper and making a comment.
No, I watched the game too, B. See,
Bro,
you making assumptions now. That's ridiculous. No, you're making assumptions. I gave you hard facts, and now you want to make assumptions as to what I know and what I saw. I just gave you hard facts. In 2016, he starts jacking 5 threes. And so this is what I would say about Brook Lopez's game. He always had a mid-range jumper. No, B. It's my time now. He had a mid-range jumper and he had a post game, and he was a back-to-the-basket big. The league changes and evolves, and he sees the evolution of the game. He starts seeing the Al Jeffersons of the NBA get pushed out, and he understands he has to change his game now. He always had a midi, and so he stretches that out to the 3. And what does he do?
That means that he already has.
Oh, are you saying Giannis has a jumper, Africa?
What was that?
Are you saying Giannis has
doesn't have a jump shot?
I'm not saying
I'm saying Giannis. Shot, but... Are you comfortable with saying Giannis has successfully become a floor spacer and added that missing jump shot to his game? Bro? Well, what are you talking about then? What are you?
I'm talking about the context of how players evolve. That's the point I'm making. Okay, listen up. Listen up. No. Nobody want to listen. Bees want to talk all that talk, but he don't want to listen though. He's talking about the evolution of players, and he's saying that it takes years, 5 to 7, probably in his estimation for Giannis to evolve into the player we're talking about. I'm saying, Bees, you don't like to be cut off, but you stay cutting me off though, Bees. What's up with you?
You talked the whole time I was.
What's up with you? No. Let me get it off. No, I was listening. For the most part. I asked Gil a couple questions, fried him on a couple things, and I kept moving.
Fried him on a couple things, man.
Yeah. I had to make him moonwalk a little, but he ain't trying to disrespect the guest though. It's all love though. Gil, I respect him coming down to the people. You know what I mean? Because he was talking about the evolution of players, and then he had to say there's only a certain amount of players that can do the very thing.
Africa, man. We all heard it, Young Africa. You know I'm on the replay. That was not no cooking.
Hey, I was respectfully listening. I wasn't trying to get into it with Gil like that. I ain't even trying to do that. I'm trying to respect the guest. But what I'm saying is there's an example of a player that's a big that became a player that didn't identify as a shooter and became a shooter. And so he had the fundamentals. He had the foundation, the very thing that Gil said. You need the foundation and fundamentals to expand like that. There's a lot of players that have the depth, but they have the foundation. And so I'm saying for Giannis, there are certain things that he can do in his career and in his skill set. I don't believe personally that Giannis has a beginner level post game. I'm not saying he's going to have a Hakeem level post game, but he hasn't got beginner level footwork and beginner level post game. I don't think so. So and that's me personally.
Okay, let me say this for you retarded ass niggas that keep saying 5 to 7 years. Man. I'm gonna say this one more time. What I said was you don't know the work that Brook Lopez did. Or you can look at the box score and you can say he didn't shoot no shots. He wasn't shooting any 3-pointers this year, and this year he started shooting 5. And you can think that's all Brook Lopez. But the fact of the matter is you got to get the coach's clearance to shoot those shots. So at some point, he had to be putting in work to get the green light to shoot those shots. That's all I'm saying.
He was the best player on his team, Bees. I don't know what you're not hearing.
If he was the best player, hold on. If he was the best player on his team, why wouldn't he shooting 5 threes the whole time? Because he wasn't allowed to. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Man, just like Gil said, I was listening to Gil. There's game plan.
That's part of his game.
There's game plan adjustments. It might not be a part of the game plan. Let me give you an example
of what I'm talking about. I went and watched Coach Romar down at University of Washington when he was getting Marquise Crisp and all these players coming through. If you couldn't shoot 38 out of 100 3-pointers, you weren't allowed to shoot a 3-pointer during the game. And he would make these guys shoot 100 3-pointers in practice. And if you couldn't hit 38, you didn't get the right to take a shot in a game. People just don't get to shoot threes like you think. There are players that are green lighted, and there are players that are not. And if Brook Lopez went from 0 to 5, that means a coach gave him the light to shoot. You don't know what work he put in for that. You can't see that. All you see is that one year he didn't shoot any, and the next year he shot 5.
Well, so what are you saying,
you say,
always shoot
hold
threes
on, bro.
and just
You said you wouldn't cut me off, right, nigga?
Bro.
So you say he developed in the summer when that ain't
No, I did
truth.
not say that, man. Oh,
Gil just explained with Jason Richardson. It took a couple years.
And that's
I did
all
not
I was
say that.
saying.
I didn't say he just got a jumper in the season. No, I did not say that.
You
That's
said he
all
went from
I
one
said
year, no attempts, to 5. And all I said to you was you didn't see the work. You don't know how long it took.
Africa, he's right there. You got to just concede that.
That's all I said, bro.
No, it's not about that. It's not about the hey, he's right about I don't know how much work he put in. Really? That he's right about that. Obviously, he's right about that. That wasn't the substance of what I said. I said there are players that have transformed their games in a season. A lot of dialogue that we had, we've had is about how long can it take? Can players evolve from
transferred their game in one season?
The conversation was to transform their games, and
who transformed in one summer? Who transformed in one summer of work?
At work. Well, one of the examples I'm giving right here, right now, is Brook Lopez. That's one example.
Yeah, but
y'all want to keep looking away from that.
And then Bees just told you, just like the real world example that Gil just told you with Jason Richardson, if we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, we would look at the numbers and be like, dang, Jason Richardson put in the work this summer and just got better as a shooter. When Gil, who's behind the scenes working with this man, said this was a 2-3 year process of him working, and it didn't just happen over one summer. See, because we lack the information, just like what B said, what's going on behind the scenes, we don't know how long he's been working behind the scenes on developing this shot. We don't know how long he's been working with those trainers and coaches. You just know he got better because he's been allowed to do it in this particular season. And now we see what he can do now that the coaches have given him the green light. You're just taking a big guess. But just like Gil said, these guys be working on it for years.
So quick question, Lamont, and to the rest of the panel. Do you think that it would be easier to help Giannis with his shooting, or do you think it would be easier to help him with his like low post footwork, things like that nature?
It's gonna be dependent on first. One thing you got to do is I would get with the coach and say, how do you plan on using me offensively? Are we going to go to certain sets that require me to maybe go back to the basket or operate closer to the rim? Mm-hmm. Are we going to play a faster paced style where we're playing more in transition? Things like that. So get with the coach, see what the offense is going to require him to do. It's just like what Gilbert said with the Princeton offense. Well, I can't run the Princeton offense like Jason Kidd, but he got with the coach, and I'll look around in this offense to see where I can run this offense, and this caters to my strong suits. Giannis would be wise to do that, and then he can take that element and say, okay, based on how we're running this offense, if I add X, Y, and Z to my game, I can excel in this system. They're not out there just playing rec ball where he can just run over the court and just do whatever he wants. So he has to do it within some type of system. And that way he can pick his spots better. That way you can focus in, okay, this offense is going to allow me to get maybe 4 to 5 elbow jumpers a game.
Jumpers here, right.
So let me shoot. Let me go 1,000 makes from both elbows all summer in these spots. And it may take him 2 summers to get a lead at it. But you have to start somewhere, and I think that's what Gil was talking about. And then you have to also find a way to get meaningful reps in, game reps, high-quality reps that translate to the game, because me and you can go to a gym, empty gym, shoot a whole bunch of shots and feel good about it, but then we get in the game and nothing's falling. Right. And this is why trainers now really preach practice at game speed. Right. Damian Lillard's trainer said, no, we only in here 30 minutes, but we're going to go game speed. Right. So, different trainers got their own philosophies. Different trainers have their own systems. But the one thing that I've seen that works the most is just going at game speed, trying to mimic how it feels in a game to do it. And to me, that's what translates the best. But anything with just empty gyms, nobody's down there to really test you. And so you can see it just, and I think that's what we see when we watch the Hakeem videos. Look, for a guy like Kyrie Irving, who with his great footwork, who's seen a lot of angles and he's drove a lot, maybe he can envision these things and kind of he sees it like Hakeem sees it. But certain guys like Giannis, who or certain guys like JaVale McGee or even Amari Stoudemire, Gil made a good point. These guys start with athleticism first.
Right.
When the moves require you to start with footwork first and finish with athleticism. And that's like the beauty of basketball, but that's also one of the toughest things to also learn too, is just to slow down to that degree and start using your brain and not just your athleticism. Really hard to do.
Would you say that? So would he just, all right, in my opinion, because Shaq was very nimble, right? He had some pretty decent footwork, right? When he was in Orlando, it wasn't amazing, but it was pretty okay, right? And I think once he got to LA, he got bigger and he kind of just focused more so on the power game, right hook, turnover left shoulder, pretty much it for the most part. And he didn't really focus on those spin, because remember in Orlando, he used to do like reverse pivot, spin moves. He would try to kind of play like Hakeem a little bit, like using his athleticism, try to get around up and under guys and stuff like that. But I think eventually his best form was to play strong. Do you think Giannis should just take that book and just try to just get as big but as mobile as possible and like get away from that Euro style and just kind of just be a power forward instead of being like a small forward power forward? Because he plays like a small forward power forward.
Yeah, no, he plays like who he is. He plays within, but like all of this stuff is all predicated on the system and your coach. Mm-hmm. Like if he's not if he is working on his post game with Hakeem, it's maybe because he had a conversation with his coach, and maybe they're going to run more stuff that's going to allow him to operate down low a little bit more. Sure. I just don't believe the work that he was putting in with Hakeem is going to lend to anything that we're going to see because he can use in the game. Like if you really want to implement tools that you can use in the game, you have to be locked in a gym working on it all summer, 3-4 hours a day, spamming certain moves over and over before. And then you might have to go through 10,000, 12,000 makes before you even see a slight improvement in the game. And then, like what B said, then you have to have the mental fortitude to deal with a ton of missed shots, a ton of failures in live action before you start seeing success, because you are doing it against NBA level teams. So you don't expect to just allow them to let you do these things. You have to get elite at it to even make it work in a game. So you're going to deal with failures there.
Can I ask you something, Lamont?
It's tough. Yeah.
What are these Hakeem moves actually going to do for Giannis when he's just going to get double teamed anytime he go in the post?
Well, that's what I also said too. Like his attack style now from the outside in is what prevents a lot of the double teams, as opposed to these back to the basket moves where I just don't know what he's getting at with it. Like, I don't know. Maybe him and Hakeem have a game plan with it, but I mean,
the double helps the team though. It helps the team. If he gets double,
back to the basket is, I mean, like I said, maybe they've had a conversation with the coach and maybe they have some type of plan that we don't know about. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But the way the NBA defends now, I just don't see how practicing back to the basket is going to be beneficial in any way, shape, or form in the league today.
Because to be honest with you, do you think that Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton create enough offense as guards to assist Giannis with the pick and pop game? Because in my opinion, I feel like Drew and Chris Middleton are up and down when it comes to manipulating the defenses. So that way Giannis can improve on pick and pop. That's why I said maybe the low post game might, open up more of the offense, because Drew is a decent enough catch and shoot player and Chris Middleton is a good catch and shoot player. So that's why I was saying, rather than having the ball in their hand consistently, having to try to help Giannis create offense, you know what I mean? Because they're not like amazing offense initiators, in my opinion. I think they're decent at best. I think Drew Holiday is probably, probably like B minus.
Right? They still got low players,
right? But they're doing something right. Giannis is one of the league leaders in scoring, and it's like something is working right. Like they're doing something right enough for him to be highly efficient on the offensive end.
Fair point.
I think the only players that need to be working on back to the basket in today's game are big guards. Like the Jimmy Butlers. Those are the players that pose the biggest matchup problems when they go back to the basket. Is the wings and the guards.
Kate Cunningham, would you say like Kate Cunningham?
But bigs that go back to the basket. This is like a welcome sight for teams, because once they load up, because the one thing that they would love, they want to turn Giannis into a playmaker. If Giannis has to start facilitating from that low post, they're going to create a lot of havoc and they're going to create a lot of turnovers. And the teams are just going to start, licking their chops, really playing passing lanes, really gearing up. So, I mean, they can, I don't know what they plan on running. I don't think the new coach there is that silly to run a style of offense where he's just back to the basket. But
no, I doubt it. I doubt
it. What it is.
Look, how I see it playing out is if he's in the post against a big, they'll take that matchup. If he's in the post against somebody smaller, he's getting double teamed immediately.
I think it's gonna be more like entry pose, the same way they use Pascal. I think it's gonna be a mix and match. Like, it'll be secondary break. They enter into a post entry. Giannis will back people down, try to create things like that. I don't think it's just gonna be spamming. You know what I mean? Low post entries.
Who will he back down though? Like, what big or power forward is he really just?
I would say
that's double team.
Like, immediately guards, when he gets like guards or like, smaller wings, on the cross matches on the secondary break, not the first
double
break,
team immediately.
Yeah, but once he backs, like imagine himself playing the Miami Heat. Let's say the Miami Heat are locked and loaded again, playing defense like they were last year. The Miami Heat are gonna invite him to get back people down to that elbow or to that short corner. That's like a death sentence against a good defensive team. They're gonna invite him there. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what he's thinking, but like, I mean, if you want to learn how to jump stop with two hands and up fake, I mean, you should be knowing how to do that by now. But like what Gilbert said. If you're not breaking these moves down to the core, where you're taking the basketball out of their hands and you're teaching these guys how to maintain their balance, how to how to step through properly. Like if you go to Michigan, the University of Michigan, I was at one of their practices. They spend 30 minutes sometimes just working with every player on step throughs. Like every practice, and this is when Juwan Howard was there. I don't, he's not there anymore, but every practice they would spend a crazy amount of time with every player just on step throughs, which is crazy. But that's how important that move has become. Yeah. But they teach that move and they spam it. And then what Gilbert said, they micromanage it. Like when you see a player, when you have to correct stuff immediately. Like right now, our team just started practicing. We just getting into the flow of things. Mm-hmm. I tell my team, look, right now, y'all going to get annoyed with me because I'm a micromanage every mistake. When I see guys throwing one-handed passes, I'm micromanaging it early. I'm blowing the whistle. I'm stopping whatever we're doing, and I'm going to stop. We can't start the season with these one-handed passes. You don't allow them to spam it over and over and then talk about it later because it's the reps that's going to build the habit. Right. So you don't want them to get in the habit of doing it when they come off DHOs. You want to make sure that the guy giving the DHO is putting the ball on the platter and not being sloppy with it. Micromanage it until they get it right. So, I mean, he is right. I'm not like a lot of the stuff he said. Like when I hear these guys that played in the league talk, man, I'm not about to give too much pushback. I'm taking notes, man.
Okay, Lamont. Why do you think I asked Gilbert about how much training he got at Arizona?
That was a good question. You asked a really good question.
And he capped, didn't he?
No, he didn't cap. He said he didn't have a trainer, which most college teams, George, don't have trainers.
He went to a top 10 school.
Bro, most of these hold on. Even here at GCU, where even when I was down at Purdue University with Matt Painter, they don't have basketball trainers. What they have is they either have walk-ons or they have managers. When you need somebody to help you get shots up, they either tell you to go get on the shot doctor or the shooting machine by yourself, or you need to get a ball, you need to get one of the team managers, or you need to get a walk-on to help you get shots up. What you end up doing then is then if you don't have the proper workouts already ingrained in your mind, then you're going to go into a gym by yourself and you're going to put up a whole bunch of bad reps and not quality reps.
So you mean to tell me they didn't have no coaches to help nobody with no footworks and showing nobody
it's to do like nothing? What B said, the coach's job is not to develop you. The coach's job is to find out where you fit into their system and make it work. If you want to develop and get better, you do that on your own time. It costs, it costs money to get trainers in to train and get better. It's not no free rides. There's no free trainers in D1 basketball teams. Hey, can you come train me for 4 hours today? There's no free rides in the train. Training is expensive. To get better, it costs money. For elite trainers, it costs money. Ryan Rizuki, Phil Handy.
Can I say the truth though?
Hines? Yeah,
a lot of college players ain't even that good, bro. Just to be real,
that is true too.
You watch a college game, it's embarrassing.
They try to do the work, George. They try to do the work before they ever bring a player in. They got an idea of what they want to run, and they try to bring players in that fit what they want to do. And they're going to develop you to do what they need you to do, and that's it.
Literally, the most training you'll get is conditioning.
So you're telling me that Olajuwon and all these guys learned all this footwork on their own?
No. What he said was, no, George, this is one thing. No. What he said was players like Olajuwon, who grew up with his first sport was soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer is a sport that naturally requires and where you learn good footwork and fundamentals with your feet. Positioning of your feet. The reason why some of these George, the reason why so many of these African players can start playing basketball at 15 and then translate so well to the game of basketball is because basketball is a game where footwork is important. And if you master, so this is why Siakam and all these African players that start playing late, they can translate well and very quickly because they have the fundamentals already.
A baseball player can too, then. So can a football player.
I wouldn't say that. Soccer is next level footwork.
It's different footwork placement. It's different. Like
if you look at the foot placement in soccer is more similar to basketball than it is in football or baseball.
How?
If you learn in footwork in football, it's to run.
Have closer foot placement.
It's to run. What
are you doing in soccer? Running, fast speed, slowing down to make the play with the ball. Like
and what are you
can't
doing in football?
When you get the ball in soccer, you can't be running full speed, but you have to be full speed to get up the field.
In most cases,
you need to be fast side to side as well.
What is the running back doing?
Salute, fellas.
Oh,
get up
What's running back doing, George?
Salute to the panel. Lamont, salute. Appreciate you for having me on, my guy.
Salute, context.
Appreciate you.
He's running in straight lines and making cuts.
And
if anything, a lot of basketball players translate better to receivers than they would a running back. But that's because that requires a higher level.
Stop changing the context.
See George,
I'm giving you the context. I've seen it live.
All the most athletic players on my high school team were wide receivers.
Hey, the thing you got to
most basketball players. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, the thing you got to understand about a running back, George, is there's different types, but you can't teach vision. You can't teach what people see. Certain guys are able to see how blocks are going to develop, where holes are going to develop that other people can't see. You can't teach that. That's natural.
Julius Peppers.
What about him?
He played both, didn't he?
No.
Oh, golly.
You mean in high school?
In college.
Where
he played in North Carolina. He played football and basketball.
Well, I say, look, he's a bigger guy. He wasn't
a very good basketball player.
Yeah, for a defensive end, the footwork does matter a lot.
Y'all just saying what these Africans can do, and y'all got your own brothers out here doing it.
One thing we got to remember. One thing you got to remember, and when someone says 5 to 7 years or 3 to 5 years. There are always anomalies on either side of that. But what you can't say, hold on, George, what you can't say is everyone will learn it at the same pace because that's not true.
Charlie Ward.
He's a guard.
I do want to make this clear, too.
He's a quarterback. Hold on, George. We're not saying football players can't translate. We're just talking about how well soccer players translate. We're not saying baseball players can't translate. We're still only talking about how well soccer players translate because the one thing that a lot of these international players have in common is the fact that their first sport was soccer. Soccer internationally is the #1 sport, not basketball. Or would they call it football? I don't want to say it wrong because they get pissed when you say soccer.
I get it.
I got an Israeli on my team. He hates it when I say soccer. So what I'm saying is, if they're starting with a sport that fundamentally requires great footwork and that translates well to basketball, it's not a surprise to me why they adapt to the game so well, as opposed to here in the United States. We have a lot of guys who start athletically gifted, but what do we notice in these athletic guys? They lack fundamentals, and now we have to find ourselves recruiting athletes, and then we have to try to develop their fundamentals after the fact.
The ones you named, most of them, the two that you were talking about, they didn't go to college, and that's Stoudemire and Giannis.
What does that got to do with anything?
They didn't develop fundamentals. If they didn't went to college, I think they would have developed more fundamentals.
College was the reason they didn't.
I mean, Giannis was playing professional for a while, wasn't he?
There's a lot of players that went to college that didn't develop fundamentals, bro. What are we doing?
I mean, like, they would have got some of the basics down because they would have had some of the coaching.
Me personally, I don't think Amare Stoudemire was basic in his footwork. I don't think Giannis is basic. It depends on how you define
how to play with his back to the basket. I don't see what's wrong with that, and I'm not a Giannis fan.
I don't think these
but hold on, George.
You learn the fundamentals of the game when you are young, bro.
My question to you, George, would be, why does he need a back to the basket game in an offense that doesn't require him to be back to the basket?
I really can't understand why he wants to do it, but I think that's going to be best. Maybe in the playoffs that will help them. The same thing I think Joel Embiid needs to play with his back to the basket during the playoff run. I'm not saying, but he got 82 games to practice it.
I don't think Joel Embiid
on that game
do that because
on that game winning play. On that game winning play we watched, George, where Joel Embiid faced up and drove and kicked it to Harden. If he was back to the basket, they lose the game.
Yeah, because he turned it.
See, that's the thing. The pass. He would have.
He can't make the pass if he's back to the basket.
I mean, but he should have tried to score.
No,
he shouldn't.
Three people came.
Huh?
Oh my God!
Come on, man. If he had a back to the basket move, maybe he could have beat the double team.
Joel Embiid definitely has great footwork in the post.
They have. That's what they don't have none.
Joel Embiid has great footwork.
No type of skill, no type of move, no type of nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the traditional move? You know what the traditional move for a double or triple team is, George? It's called a pass. That's the move.
But they can before the double team.
Any player that does otherwise is probably headed to the bench
and make the move.
If you are sitting here trying to attack in the post as a big consistently, unless you're Shaq or you're some otherworldly athlete, your best option is to pass out of a double team. That's the smartest play.
They was teaching the guys in Michigan before old boy left. They was teaching them how to do what? Split the what?
It's step through. Step through is just an up fake, and then you step past your man. It's not meant to step through a double team.
Any of those players were in NBA?
Though, right? Oh man. But they do it though, right?
George, man. Please stay away from coaching any level of basketball, my guy. Because you're gonna have these kids looking crazy out there, man.
It's just not a highly efficient thing.
They split double teams, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I don't think anybody's first instinct is to beat a double team.
Oh my!
My thing is, like, are we actually out here trying to make it seem like Hakeem's moves wouldn't be effective right now?
It would.
I know we're not trying. I know we're not trying to troll and make that argument.
Here's the thing.
They would be in a 1v1.
What I'm saying is Hakeem's moves.
So in isolation scoring, it'd be effective.
Hold on. What I'm saying is Hakeem's moves are very basic moves. They're a jump stop with 2 feet, up fake to get your man off the ground. I said just because Hakeem added a little flair to it, don't mean it's anything special. So what I'm saying is, yes, those basic fundamental moves are necessary. George, hold on one second. Those basic fundamental moves are necessary in basketball. But what we were saying is some of the moves, especially some of the advanced moves that Hakeem is trying to show these guys, those moves can only be taught if you take the basketball out of their hands, You strip some of these guys down to the court, and you just start working on just sheer balance and footwork, how to pivot correctly, how to make the spin move without traveling, and you're breaking it down to the like some of these guys. Sometimes you have to take the basketball out of their hands, and now you just have to get to the basics.
So you're saying that it doesn't make sense to teach them the moves because they don't have the initial agility or the footwork.
No, you teach the move. You teach the move when they're ready to be taught the move.
Hold on. What he's saying, bro. What he's saying, bro. No, what he's saying, bro, is that your body has to learn the mechanics of what you're doing, and it has to become second nature before you ever add the ball.
That's an interesting mind.
Jokic is the perfect example.
Wow.
That's actually true.
That's actually very deep. That's deep, though.
I don't want to come off disrespectful to some, but I think Jokic is almost like a Kyrie in the post.
Bro. We talking about
crazy. Stop. We talking about
when
Jokic
is
talking about fundamentals.
When Jokic is in the post, he knows what to do, whether it's pass, score, jump, hook.
You know, I've noticed that whenever Hakeem works with people, you see the footage, and Lamont, what you're saying actually makes sense because you can kind of tell that there are certain fundamental things that they're missing that they need in order to fully be able to utilize the moves that he's giving them.
All right, but they're not going to learn it with the ball in their hand.
They're not going to learn it with the ball in their hands. No. There's a lot of steps before.
That'd be like me trying to teach you. That'd be like me trying to teach somebody in and out crossover.
I know.
But they struggle to dribble all together.
You know what I'm saying?
If you haven't played a lick of basketball in your entire life, and I just say, okay, we're working on in and out crossovers, you're going to look crazy.
Exactly.
There's a certain fluidity that you need, a certain fluidity, a certain agility.
I do want to bring up again on the level.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the only person that could probably do what he's doing is Embiid. He's the only guy that I think that can probably has the fluidity. But like you say, he's from Africa. He has the soccer and that kind of back. Well, Jokic doesn't have the quickness. He doesn't have the quickness. But
fundamentals.
Fundamentals beat that.
Bro, fundamentals.
He's all fundamentals in the post.
Fundamentals beat it, but quickness makes it more effective and more efficient.
The only thing with fundamentals is
that's the thing about it.
You have to have a more in your arsenal when if you're slow. You have to have a multitude of moves that you have
more you can do. Facts,
but you have to be ready to use them on a split second.
And you know when to use them, read situations. I agree with that.
Are these moves amazing, or are they just flashy?
Are Hakeem's moves amazing? Are Hakeem's moves amazing?
Ben saying
one mic. Bro, the combinations of how he put them together is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But they
Lamont's not saying that.
Yo, one mic, one at a time.
Bro, the combinations of how he put them together, they are amazing, bro. But they're fundamentals at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with Hakeem.
So kind of saying is gas.
No. What I'm saying is
the post moves.
No. What I'm saying is a lot.
I don't think he's saying that.
What I'm saying is, if you look at Hakeem's moves, he puts together a combination of like 4 basic moves. Each individual move are very basic moves. It's really not nothing fancy. They're basic, but to put those combinations together, like he was trying to show Amari and JaVale McGee, you have to then teach proper footwork so you're not traveling every time, like we saw with Amari Stoudemire and even JaVale McGee in those training videos. So that's what I'm saying is teach them the proper footwork first, and slow the moves down. Work on each individual move. Then teach, okay, how do you put 2 of these combinations together? Okay, now we can work on 3 combinations. Now we can go to the 4-move combinations. Now we're going to bring defense on. Now we're going to bring a defender on. Now this defender
should be layered.
And when this defender 100%. Defends you, you're going to, depending on how the defender reacts, you may need to use a 2-dribble combination.
100%.
You may need to use 3-move combinations. You may only need
There's
to
a
use
process
1.
to get
now
into
you have
it.
to get used to reacting based on what the defense does, because Hakeem's moves were all reactionary based on what
layer. This layer.
Exactly. So why did you say he added flashiness to it when he puts the ball out? That has a reason. When he's actually faking the ball, that
flashiness sounds. But flashiness is not a bad term. It's not a negative term because
it kind of means like it's purposeless, is what that really means.
No, that's not what it means. That's not what it means.
That's how Lamont put it.
No.
It's not in the context of Hakeem is overrated now. Understand that, but go ahead.
Africa, the correlation that I used was this:
flashiness is not a negative word all the time.
I said you have a Magic Johnson as a passer. You have Jason Williams White Chocolate as a passer. They're so these guys can pass the ball extremely well, similar to Mark Jackson and John Stockton. What's the difference between both of those guys? They're all effective passers to a certain degree. The difference is you got two guys that put a little flash on it. Then you got the other two guys that keep it basic and they keep it simple and they don't add the flash and frill.
IQ is high.
Everything that Hakeem does adds up to 2 points. Whether you go with the dream shake move by sticking the ball out and you kind of make the man look crazier because you're showing the ball a little harder and you're bringing it back, or if you just keep it with a simple jump stop up fake, you get the man off the ground and then you go finish and you look basic with it. Either way, it's all 2 points. So what you don't want to do is like what Gilbert said, you can't teach it how Hakeem would do it. One, because he's going to do it because he already has the footwork. He has the natural ability to add a little extra onto it because he's mastered the footwork already. We're dealing with guys who haven't even mastered the footwork, and we can't teach them all the pizzazz and all the extras with it. Because now we're just doing too much. We got to strip it down to the basics. And it's not going to look the same when they do it.
I agree with that.
It may look a little bit more basic.
Hakeem's able to have the flash and the pizzazz, if you will, because he's so skilled and he's been doing it for so many years. But not everybody's going to be able to go to that level. So it doesn't make sense for you to teach Hakeem's flashiness and the next tier type of like counters and stuff if you don't know the basics. And you don't have the fundamentals down, and you don't even have the footwork even necessary to do it.
Hakeem Olajuwon's moves weren't all the way in the garbage can. They were pretty good moves. We'll give them that. Just so you
come on, one of the greatest moves. They were one of the greatest moves of a postman of all time.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work. No one's gonna argue that.
People like Giannis, bro. People like Giannis and people that mostly rely on their athleticism, bro. They're not gonna catch up on that shit. You got people that relied on mostly their athleticism. You got people that actually relied on their skill because they didn't have the same athleticism as the other person did, bro. You feel me?
Can I bring up Brook
That's
Lopez?
why they would just never gain it, bro.
We know Brook Lopez basically scored out of the post of his first 4, 5, 6 years. He was working with Hakeem Olajuwon. That stuff is so basic that he had to develop a 3-ball to make his game more versatile. This stuff is not going to work in the modern NBA. Not consistently. Especially if you're not that guy.
You're talking about Hakeem's moves? Hakeem's moves don't work in the modern NBA?
It's not something you need.
They're going to work. They're going to work. I think it won't work if you don't have the quickness, you don't have the footwork.
Well, they work against bad defenders.
Bro, you know what?
Yeah, a lot of big men.
They work against people who jump.
Bro, it will work more.
A lot of big men jump.
Probably guards,
bro.
No. See the way. See this is the way.
A lot of big men jump around.
This is where you have to incorporate.
They're advanced now.
This is where you have to incorporate the differences in the move. Hold on one second, Justin. This is where
I would go to Hakeem just for my footwork, bro. If I was a guard,
yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, when you're trying to utilize Hakeem's moves, your offensive attack needs to incorporate the way defenses have changed in the 90s and an illegal defense type of era when you only had that one big on you and you're dealing with lower IQ defenders who would leave the ground more frequently. Now we're in an age where you have more defenders on ball who will stay down, who will wall up, and they will allow the rotational guy, the secondary help, to be that guy flying through the air going for the block. And now these guys are much more athletic.
Exactly,
right?
bro.
They're in closer help position because they're not spaced out by illegal defense. So imagine now having Aaron Gordon 1-2 steps away from you as help, who can touch damn near the top of the backboard coming to get your shit off the glass when you go up with one of these dream shake moves while the man on you like Jokic is just standing there walled up. Remember when
have you watched Sengun? You've watched Sengun, right?
Bro, Sengun, they play on the right.
AD was guarding when AD was guarding when Jokic was guarding AD. When Jokic was guarding AD, what did Jokic do the whole time? He stayed his ass on the ground and he wasn't going for all that AD move. He just stayed there just like this. And you know who else was? You know who was flying through the air contest? Aaron Gordon, Porter Jr., and they was flying through the air to contest to make them shots hard. But Jokic wasn't going nowhere, and this is how they teach you to defend. People say Jokic's a bad defender. These people will say Jaren Jackson's a good defender. He flying through the air blocking shots. But who's really the better defender?
I want to ask you this, Lamont. Would those Hakeem moves work on somebody like Kevon Looney?
No. Because Kevon Looney has Draymond Green backing him up. Kevon Looney's another defender who stays down. Those moves that Hakeem's doing is predicated on the on-ball defender jumping. If you don't jump, how do those moves work?
I just brought up an okay big.
Can I ask you a question real quick? I'm not trolling at all. I'm actually far from trolling. Sengun, y'all might think I'm full of shit, but a lot of his moves are similar to Hakeem. I'm not saying he's Hakeem. Relax. I'm not saying he's Hakeem. I'm not saying he's Hakeem. Let's all take a breather. Let's take a breath. Relax. What I'm saying is that his moves are very similar, at least in this early stage of his development. His moves are very similar to Hakeem Olajuwon, and he gets niggas jumping all the fucking time. And he's one of the best post offensive players at his age in the league.
Does it work for him?
Up and under.
Wait till he's number one on the scouting report.
Let me in here, please.
Man, that could be next year.
I'm gonna say again, I'm not.
And them post moves are not gonna be there.
There's only a few guys,
but they've been there for the last 3 years. They've been there for the last 3 years.
What the Rockets have done?
Crazy?
And what the Rockets done?
We changed our new coach. We got a new coach. That's what we did because our coach didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Oh, you a Rockets fan?
I'm not a
man.
I see.
We're not talking about me being a. We're not talking about me being a Rockets fan. I'm a land real quick. I'm a land. I was talking. People interrupting me. Let me land. I'm not talking about me being. I am a Rockets fan. But that's not what I'm. Hold on for a second. I'm a Rockets fan, but that's not what I'm talking about. Lamar saying that those moves would not work. You need this and that. I just named a player that clearly utilizes those moves effectively.
Okay. Go ahead, George.
Okay, I'm not a Giannis fan, but if Giannis learned those moves, there's only a few guys in the NBA that's going to be able to stop him or even compete with him if he learned those moves. And like you talking about what you say, Clooney gonna foul him, and Draymond is too small. There's only a few guys that's gonna be able to stop him.
Clooney.
Why are you playing with him like that?
Y'all need to stop trolling.
I actually seen Giannis versus Kevon Looney.
Clooney's not going to be able to stop no Hakeem or nobody like that. Let's all relax.
Other than that, Lamont, I don't know what you're talking about.
You better pray for a foul because he's not jumping.
Bro, he has. Bro, one of the reasons Hakeem was doing it is, bro, because he developed a mid-range, bro. A really good. Bro, let me finish, bro. Let me finish, bro. Damn, bro, Giannis, bro, if he get into doing all that shit, bro, people is not gonna go for that shit, bro. It's not gonna look the same, bro. His game is gonna slow. His game, no, bro. He's not enough skillful.
Can't shoot.
He don't have enough skill. He can't shoot, bro. Like he don't have the skill, bro. That basically, bro, like he don't have the skill, bro, to be doing that.
If he get that close to the basketball and learn some
moves,
he gonna be trouble.
He don't got a post fade. He don't got a hook.
He too long, bro. Do you
hey, let's stop talking about Looney. Looney ain't gonna be shit. He a role player. He not gonna be able to do the moves.
Not the moves. He can defend them.
Bro, just think you sounded mad zesty, my boy.
Bro, you know, hey, on God, I be hearing this shit. I don't know how to. Maybe I need to do vocal training or some shit, bro. I don't know, bro.
You just sound real relaxed. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
Hold on. All right,
maybe I need to figure it out, bro. I don't know, bro.
I'm not over.
No, it's all good. I'm not, bro. Pause, bro. I'm not. I don't do that shit. But I mean, I've heard that before. Maybe I need to do some vocal coaching or some shit. I don't know. You know,
solid, man. Don't let these dudes. Man.
I feel like I sound normal, but no, I take it as constructive criticism. Like I'm not. I mean,
SFM.
That's you know,
that ain't no constructive criticism.
That's how I look. That's how I look. Oh God, bro, that's how I look at it. Yeah. I'm trying to be positive, bro.
That was
you know,
a good take, bro, because you can go down there and learn footwork all day, but you ain't got that shot he got either.
Yeah, the mid range, the mid range, I feel that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's wild,
man. I do want to say this. I brought up Kevon Looney because he's a very disciplined defender. That's not to say he's a great, defender.
But Looney like 6'8" though.
Bro, you gotta let him
6'8".
finish, bro.
My bad, bro.
He's 6'8" is crazy. I don't know how you came up with that one. Yeah, I mean he's about 6'10" and a half.
Nah, he ain't. No, hold on. Let me Google it. That nigga ain't 6'10".
Bro, you must be thinking about somebody else, bro. Kevon Looney a tank out there.
Kevon Looney, he stays down.
But he's not 6'10" though.
Draymond Green does not jump. He walls up and
he's just gonna have his hands up the whole time.
Draymond Green is 6'6".
He's a hacking way.
No, I said Kevon Looney.
Okay, I thought somebody said Draymond Green.
George, so hold on. What's the difference between Draymond Green being a hack and the 90s Fenders hand checking being hacks that you say is good defense?
Because
that's a good
question.
question.
Was illegal then.
Hand checking is a foul, and it was a foul in the 90s. You know what it was called, George? It was called a hand check foul. It was the most commonly called foul in the 90s.
There you go, Lamont. Don't.
It was more allowed in the 80s.
There you go, Lamont.
So he was just as much of a hack as your favorite defensive era of all time, the 90s.
No, there you go, Lamont.
The craziest thing is the favorite defensive era, and it's the worst.
He would be hacking Giannis if Giannis learned those moves, and they would call a foul on him.
Oh my God! Now you be hacking Giannis.
It's nothing to hack because he's not that talented near the basket in a post.
I said if he learned those moves, bro. I said that if he learned those moves,
he will first have to learn.
Did he have to hack KD or LeBron? Did he have to hack them? They got the skills.
Who?
Did he have to hack when he's defending KD and LeBron? Hold on, when did he foul out guarding KD and LeBron? He did a good job guarding him,
but they were calling fouls on him.
No, bro. If he didn't foul out, then it ain't no issue.
When LeBron drove to the basket and he was down there waiting on him, they called the foul on who?
Oh my God!
As long as he don't foul out, bro, it's not no problem, bro.
They weren't calling no offensive fouls. I know that.
Honestly, the post game works better for guards these days.
Exactly,
most big men are not unintelligent enough to fall for this.
Exactly, bro. That's why I said that, Lamont. That's why I said, bro, if I was a guard, bro, I would go to Hakeem, bro. That's why I said for my footwork. Just for my footwork. That's what I said, bro.
As a guard, though, I will go as a big man.
Okay, so
I would go to Hakeem for my footwork.
But no big man in the NBA is moving like Hakeem right now.
Steph Curry posting up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you go to?
I mean, not a small guard, of course.
Well, the guards,
a wing, maybe a wing.
Like the guards, like all these guards that can now back you down and still have what you still have to.
But who are these guards? Who are they?
It's a bunch of big guards.
They can hold on. They can back you. They will get back.
Jimmy Butler's a big guard.
Devin Booker is one.
Jimmy's a wing. You talking about some wings?
Devin Booker is one.
Hold on, Klay Thompson too. Klay Thompson will back you down.
Is he?
Chris
He's a
Middleton
wing.
will back you down. He's a big guard.
Klay Thompson played out the post half the season last year.
Like
man, y'all bringing up a whole bunch
Jason
of
Tatum,
wing players.
Jason Tatum, he moved too stiff,
These are shooting
bro.
guards, bro.
Like I know it won't work for Jason Tatum, bro. He moved too stiff, bro.
Right,
Chris Middleton, a shooting guard. Chris Middleton, a shooting guard.
Wrap your thoughts up, y'all, because I got to get this one shut down here in a little bit. We can
get y'all. What's up?
What's good, Big Storm? What's good on that?
Not much, just chilling. I feel that post moves really only work for players who that fits their game. Because with Giannis, I don't really see that working with him.
Yeah, I don't see
his most dangerous move is being bigger and faster than everybody.
He's just
he's just
like a modern day Wilt Chamberlain.
That's funny as
run
fuck.
you over.
He not the,
that'll work. He's screwed.
This nigga said his biggest move is just being bigger than you.
He's not the only one, bro.
Yeah, 3 steps to the basket.
They had a lot of
that Euro to the basket.
They had a lot of all-time greats that mostly relied on their athleticism than their skill, bro. He's not the only one.
Like Will Chamberlain and shit. He basically like Will Chamberlain.
And as he gets older, then what?
Then he gonna be sorry.
No
He'll
more
be out the league,
Giannis.
nigga. That's period, bro. That's what happens, bro. They get older, they get sorrier. We move on.
He's gonna
to
become
the
a
next.
rotational player or a piece player to a decent
Hey man,
team.
he got his ring.
Blake Griffin and Boston Celtics right now. That's Giannis.
So you put
He'll
them
be
two
Blake
in
Griffin.
the same category.
Unless he becomes a
player,
generational passer.
Yeah, bro. Unless he gets more skill, yeah, he's gonna be an athletic guy that loses athleticism, and he's gonna be a role player.
Blake Griffin and Giannis inside the same category. You ain't got nothing to say about that.
Hey, come on. It's called it's context, bro. Come on now, don't do that.
No context.
I'm talking about.
I'm talking to the.
He's a player that uses his athleticism to score.
Where's all these Giannis lovers at? He put both of them in the same category.
Who?
Not as far as they level though. I mean, Giannis is better than Blake Griffin.
If it's athleticism, what is he gonna do? Realistically,
that's the point. Exactly. That's my point. Yeah, bro. What he about to do? He gonna be like Amari Stoudemire.
All right, look, I have to say that
bro, he's gonna be like Shaq.
Not Amari Stoudemire.
Bro, Shaq and him, bro, is the best comparable thing in the terms.
Talking about Shaq?
Nah, Shaq is 7'2", 340.
Yeah, but he mostly.
I think Blake Griffin is a better example.
Blake Griffin is a better example. He mostly relied on his athleticism, no matter how.
But he was 7'2", bro. He a big ass nigga,
and he mostly, and they both, regardless, Giannis and Shaq, they both relied on mostly their athleticism than their skill.
Yes,
they didn't have as much.
A lot better.
You know what? That stuff's so basic. As Shaq got older, he became useless.
He became useless real fast.
But it's more like rotation.
He didn't pick up on the skill. That's what Kobe was.
He was still the same level of fat.
35-year-old gonna pick up a post game.
He only playing the post. He can't do nothing else.
Trains. If you train, you can get better. What do you mean? A 35-year-old can't get a post game?
Can just
LeBron got his post game way later in his career. In his 30s.
All right, y'all. Look, I would love to keep this going, but I gotta get it shut down, man. I gotta get it shut.
Appreciate y'all. My bad on coming late.
You're fine, man. Hey, and just think, man, don't let these fools hate on you, man. You solid, man.
Bro, listen, bro.
Yeah, they like that.
I've heard it. Hey, I've heard it more than once, bro. I'm not. I don't swing that way. I don't do that, bro. But I need to figure it out.
The way you sound, bro. Like, what the hell else can you do? You just sound like that.
Appreciate
That's what I sound like, bro. I don't know what to do. Shit.
People are fucking weird, dog.
Hey, you get my cash out, bro?
Yeah, salute, man. Definitely. I appreciate that. I put it on the screen there. I've been trying to.
I didn't know. I walked away.
I appreciate you, man.
But it was a good show, man. I enjoyed
yeah, it was a really good show, man.
And salute to so y'all. Make sure y'all go check out. If y'all, I'm sure most of y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to No Chill Gil, man, and Gil's Arena, both his channels, man. Because he be putting out some gems. He be putting out some good content. I know he'll be pissing y'all off with it.
Antlers. I don't know about that, bro.
Hey, I mean, don't get mad at it. Because he said that was Rich Paul that said that. That wasn't Gilbert. Gilbert got LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah, he consistently say that too.
So, no pushback.
My team, MC Robinson. My team this year, we got us another super team. I ain't even gonna lie.
The Phoenix Suns, bro.
Hell no.
No. I'm talking to my coach. My coach at GCU.
Oh yeah, look, college coach. Yeah.
Hey, look.
Facts.
I went
and
stacked the deck. I went and stacked.
I agree with that.
I'm talking about we got some. Look, MC Robinson. Go look at our roster on the GCU website. I went and got the cavalry this year. I'm talking about. Boy, hey, if we don't win it this year, we like the 2011 Miami Heat.
You're gonna get it eventually.
Oh my! I already got one. I got one when I was coaching at Purdue, so I just got to get in. I got to get one here at GCU, man. So I'm just I'm 1-3 in championship games.
Hey man, you still got the one though.
I hope you don't play the Dallas Mavericks.
George is a hater, man. You see that? George is just a hater, man. He hope. We this year we solid though. That's why I said that's why I'm micromanaging them early about the small things, because I know a talented team, because so talented, can sometimes look over the small stuff and you get sloppy. So I'm just being petty with them to start the season, being particular about the small things, and then by the time the end of the year kicks in, we locked in, we ready to go. So and beefed up our schedule. So the first half of our schedule is kind of crazy. Like we going through the gauntlet a little bit. So. You know, they're going to get battle tested by the time it's all said and done. But salute to y'all, man. I'm going to go ahead and drop y'all. Salute to Big Storm. And just think, I want to see y'all pull up a little bit more. I'm going to be going live tomorrow night as well. So make sure, man, when we drop these lives,
what time? Hey, what time you gonna be on?
I'm gonna be going live tomorrow. It's gonna be a later stream. So tomorrow I'm gonna be going live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is like 10 for most people. I'm only gonna be live for like an hour to 2 hours. And then Tuesday I'm gonna be back to my early afternoon stream that Tuesday. And Wednesday, I won't be able to go live because I got to go out of town. We got to go play Golden West Community College. So we got to hit the road and travel to Cali. So I'm going to be out Wednesday and Thursday because we got to travel.
Clutch.
So, you know, like I said, crazy schedule. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of changes with the channel, man. Expect big changes to come around the 28th with the channel. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We got new merch coming out. So we just waiting for the new merch, all like the photos and stuff to come out. So we got new merch. We got some big news coming out, some big changes coming. Like I said, I can't really announce them yet, but that actually the changes are going to be announced by somebody else. So y'all going to be on the watch for that. So we leveling up, man. We going to the networks. FYF, he says you're not fair. Y'all got some big guards. Yeah, we got a 6'5" guard. He's a sophomore from Missouri. We got another 6'4" guard. He transferred in from Lamar University. We got another freshman, a 6'4" guard from here in Arizona. He's nice.
Lamar.
He's nice. What up?
Hey man, did you watch that Colorado game, man?
Bro. But see, you know what though? I wasn't it didn't surprise me too much. It didn't surprise me too much. It didn't surprise me too much because going into the game, it's just like
I knew they was gonna lose.
In the skill positions, like Shedeur was just getting sacked too much by weaker teams.
His O-line's terrible.
And yeah, like so when I seen he's going when I did my research on that Oregon defensive line, I'm like, boy, they about to make it hard on him because he's not gonna have no time to get his throws off.
He's been getting sacked a lot. That's
what I said. But but the slower, less athletic defensive line, he's able to get away and still make big plays. But that Oregon, them boys was moving. When they broke free, and they gave them zero. And they big.
I feel like he'll get sacked within like
the
2
biggest
seconds.
thing about me that I'm looking at him right now, he gotta develop to learn how to run out the pocket, bro.
Or throw the ball away.
Throw the ball, bro. Just run out the pocket, bro. Like they'll give you the whole left side of the field to run, bro, and you don't bother to run out the pocket, bro. You steady trying to look for the open man. Like you scared to take the hit, bro. Like you have the most sacks as a quarterback in the college, like in college football right now, bro. And you shouldn't, bro. Like as many times I've seen
it does hurt that they lost Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter not being out there is like a big dent on both sides of the floor. I mean, both sides of the field. You know, so that hurts right there. I mean, he's your best defensive player, and he's probably your best offensive weapon. Like when you lose your best weapon on both sides. So when he got hurt, it's like losing two players, two star players on both. Like so, that's tough right there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's tough. So I mean, they'll be all right. I expect them to perform much better against USC. I think it's going to be close. I got USC winning it just because of the front line. But I think they'll be more competitive. I don't see them getting blown out again. So they just got to address, like Deion said it coming in. The only difference between HBCUs and the major schools is the defensive and offensive lines. And he just now he needs time to recruit those guys. And you know he
needs some dogs. He don't got no dogs.
No, what you need is some of them big white dudes. That's what you need.
Some dogs.
Bro, he needs some of them big. He's great at recruiting the skill positions, but he needs to find a way. Now he has to find a way. How do I connect with them big country Nebraska white dudes that's 6'7", 300
cornbread fed.
Or them dudes just strong for no reason. Just strong, just sit, just wake up. Bench pressing 450, you know, just strong for no reason. So you got to get some of them guys, and now you have to really expand your skills as a recruiter. How do I connect with those guys? Because he connects with all the other positions. But there was a bad look when they were asking him about his offensive line, or I think it was defensive line. He didn't know the player's name, and it's just like, You know, that's not a good look. I mean, so there's some stuff that you can criticize him on. I think he's been doing a great job. I love what they're doing. I've been watching every Colorado game from start to finish, and I don't even really watch football like that. So if he got
you
me
think
watching,
they ready for the Power 5 teams though?
Yeah, they ready. I think they're going to be in a bowl. Are they ready for the big dogs? No, but can they surprise some people and can they get into a top 20 bowl game? Yeah. They can get into. They can be in one of the higher level bowl games and maybe try to compete. And you know, but you know he's on the right track. Like nobody predicted them. They were predicted to only have 2 wins this year. They were predicted to have the fewest wins in like the FBS. They already surpassed. So they already passed expectations, and they're probably going to finish the season with at least 5 wins, if not more than 5. I believe they get more than 5. I believe they go have 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah.
You can't win them all. I know people want to beat up on. I'm just glad they got it out the way now because people were just thirsting over him to lose. They were waiting for him to lose.
They were salivating.
Yeah, so they just salivating like, okay, get it out your system now because they gonna get right back to it. So,
hey man, when the coach said, man, the coach for Oregon, when he said this game is won on the grass, it's not won in Hollywood. Oh, I already know what type of coach he is, man. I already know what type of coach they did it with, man. He not playing.
When I heard his speech, I said, yeah, he got them ready to play.
Yeah, he not playing.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I said that, and and you see his face, like I saw his energy. I was like, boy, he really got them ready to play, man.
Yeah,
they about to come out here and they about to mean business, and that's what they did, man. They was hitting on all cylinders. That was wild. That was a good performance, man.
Yeah, for real. But for real, they gonna have to fix that offensive line, man, because man, that boy could get hit, man. He been taking some hits, bro.
What do you think they do to fix it? Put him in shotgun or something? Like what are you gonna do?
Well, not exactly what you just said. They're gonna have to recruit some dogs, bro, on that offensive line, bro. Like they need to recruit some dogs on that offensive line. Not even their offense. Like they need more people to just on defense as well, bro. Like that defense is shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like this was even noticeable in the games they won, bro. Like the defense is trash, bro.
They gonna have to roll them out,
bro. They defense is.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. These other Power 5 teams, bro. You're like y'all gotta go against USC, you know.
Don't it seem like their defense is small?
Alabama, come on, Alabama, bro.
Like their defense is tiny. Like I be seeing some of them guys try to tackle it. Like they be bouncing off of them running backs. Like where y'all size at? Y'all got any linebackers with size or something? Because
that's what I'm saying.
His son Shiloh be out there barely hanging on. Like he's good, but man, he's small, man.
I know, bro. And like Travis Hunter, bro, like 5'10", bro. I understand, but what happens when you go against the UTSA and you got to go against like a Joshua Stephens that's 6'5", swollen, and they got this. He just the biggest dude on the football field, bro. He look like he the biggest. What y'all gonna do with that, bro?
Like, I believe they bounce back. Like if anybody can figure it out, they got a whole bunch of NFL guys on that staff. If anybody can figure it out, it's his staff. So. You know, sometimes these losses wake you up.
They're getting Warren Sapp next year. I think he just got his college degree to coach.
Yeah, you got to be because I think Warren Sapp, he has to get his college degree to be there and coach. So yeah, I think he's gonna help, especially once they start getting higher quality linemen in there. I think he'll help. And you know, we'll just have to go from there. But I like what they're doing. He got everybody watching college football. I mean, everybody in college football needs to be thanking him because he got people tuning in today. Because remember, college football for a while, to me, I was checked out. I hadn't went out watched a college football game. I wasn't watching the national championship games. I didn't care who was winning. But now I care. And I only care now because of him. So college football needs to be thanking him. All these coaches taking shots at him need to be tipping their hat because it's going to equate to more money for them. So.
Yeah, because before Coach Prime, it was like obvious. I've been watching college football for a minute. It was obvious. It's either you're going to see Alabama, Georgia,
LSU.
LSU is not all the time. It's the consistency is literally Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State.
Yeah,
and some random 14. That's what it was for the past I don't know how many years before Prime came in. No one didn't want to watch that, even the blowouts. But since Prime came in, he made it more interesting to watch and got everybody engaged. Like Lamont said, yes, all those coaches should thank him because all eyes are on everybody now. Yep. Everybody.
Man, salute to everybody, man. Hey, SFM. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to SFM, man. Hey, guys be hard on you. You know what I'm saying? When you be speaking highly of Kobe Bryant, man, and you know, a guy named Dwayne Wade.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
You know where I'm going. Hey,
Lamont, that's what I was talking about earlier when I first came to the show. I was like, Lamont, you need to go look at it.
Lamont, you got the floor, SFL. You got the floor, SFL. Talk your shit, man.
Hey, man, Lamont, hold on before we go off, man. We gotta get this clear, man.
All right, what up?
Your boy Dwayne Wade, a minute, man, that they put their super team together for Kobe Bryant, man. They were scared of Kobe Bryant.
The hell? What?
We could go look.
Hey, it's on audio too. It's audio.
And guess who was sitting right there? And guess who was sitting right next to him when he said it? Paul Gasol.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
I know that ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's like when I used to try to say it, people try to deny it. But when the truth come out of how much Kobe had that boy in fear, Kobe had all the boys in fear.
It's not about being in fear.
They were not fear. They were mad. They were mad when they saw Kobe win.
This is the attitude.
No, that's not what D-Wade said. They were scared.
No, he literally said in the clip he was mad. He was mad. Once he saw Kobe get the ball, he turned the TV off. He asked LeBron, what you gonna do?
And called LeBron. Hey, man.
Yeah, that
Kobe
right there.
Kobe probably went 3 in a row, man. Come on, LeBron.
They said we gotta put a stop to Kobe.
All I'm saying
you gotta put a stop to Kobe, man.
Hold on, y'all. That line of thinking
is
what more teams need to do. That line of thinking is what more teams need to do.
Hold
on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
No, that is how you supposed to.
Hold on, let me get everybody
out of here. There's too many people in here. So I salute you. I'm gonna drop a few people down because I can't even get my point off. Vingo Jester ain't even said nothing yet. No, what I'm saying is more teams need to have that train of thought because we see too many teams and these organizations and these GMs just stay stagnant and not try to get better. They don't get pissed off at seeing the best player in the league win, and these guys are getting together saying, okay, we need to do X, Y, and Z to beat them. And then all they're doing is leveling up the league. They're making it more watchable. Every time I see a super team get created, it makes me want to watch them more because one, they turn into a Goliath type of team. And now I get to see who's going to slay Goliath. And if they were looking at Kobe like he was that type of Goliath, okay, yeah, that's great because Kobe was a player to be feared. Obviously, he was a great player. And if they, just like the Celtics had to create a team for LeBron, if they created a team for Kobe, I understand it. But this is what makes the league good. So Kobe is deserving of that. I mean, that's wise. So, I mean, I don't that's not no knock on LeBron and them, but I don't think it boosts Kobe either.
Lamont, no.
It's great.
It definitely does. It definitely does boost. It been boosted them up because I've been noticed. But the Celtics, you really think the Celtics put together a team for LeBron?
Well, the reason why I believe that they put the team together for LeBron is because when KG was talking about how they defended LeBron, he said, well, the one thing I know is he wasn't going to beat all of us. He said he couldn't beat all of us.
But LeBron,
when you talk, I don't know if KG's just going to come out and admit, yeah, we put this together to stop LeBron. But when they were talking about that matchup against LeBron, he said the one thing we knew, we thought that he couldn't beat all of us put together individually, maybe, but not all of us together. So to sit here and think that they didn't consider that as a solution against LeBron when they put that team together, you have to be.
I got the only reason I can counter that, Lamont, and that's Cap though, because KG wanted to go to LA. He wanted to join Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
He was on the way.
He wasn't intending to join Boston.
We can say he wanted to go to LA. The only thing I know is he went to Boston. He went to Boston. He went to Boston.
I mean,
one of the first big threes of
who was in control of Minnesota
of this particular era.
But
they put together a team that we thought was almost unbeatable. When they put that team together, we predicted them to win the championship.
I mean, we knew they were going to win the first year, but we knew they was on the tail ends of their career too. So
they weren't on the tail ends of their career because they were all in early 30s. That's not the tail end of your career.
I heard it's going to be a good stream tomorrow, man. We're going to be streaming about this, on Radio Sports tomorrow. Lamar, we can't let this topic go by, man.
My God. Y'all just be gassed,
we finna take this, what Dwayne said, to the whole next level, man. Come on, man. We know it, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna try to tune in. Hopefully, I'm not at practice. I got practice tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to tune in.
That's a bit, man. Salute, man. Salute.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all.
Salute, Lamont.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, man. Look, FYF Sports, man. Another great podcast episode, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure y'all hit that membership button if you haven't done so. Memberships are back, man. First 5 people that become members, man. First 5 people that become members going into our drawing for the Amazon gift card. We got 5 gift cards that we're going to be giving away. So, again, we're going to start giving those gift cards away starting tomorrow's stream, late night stream, man. So, again, salute to Nicholas Brown. Salute to George for pulling up, man. Appreciate y'all. Stream was decent, man. Like I said, we're going to clip that segment with Gilbert Arenas because, man, that was epic right there. It's always good to have him pull up. Salute to Gilbert Arenas. Y'all check him out. But again, man, another great show, man. Epic. We're going to try to pull off these lives as much as possible this week. Give y'all a lot more content, man. Road to 100K, man. We're trying to get there. We're going to do everything we got to do to get there. We're going to keep pumping out the content. And like I said, man, we're going to be expanding to other platforms pretty soon. There's some big announcements coming this week. So y'all stay tuned, man. It's FYF Sports, another great podcast episode. We're going to be back with more sports and news. Until then, it's FYF Sports, y'all. And we out.
Yeah, we done came from the bottom, mad that we up, but I don't hear him talking. Started with knowledge inside of my noggin. We took a dream and then we started vlogging. Put my city on the map now. I'ma say how it is and I don't back down. On the road to 100K, we finna act out. We gon' show them that we not just in the background. We the main event, we the main show. We the one that people always gonna pay for. FYF, we the best, no debate though. Number 1 sports channel, every angle. I'ma show them all how we ride. Best sports talk show, we not like them guys. We playing it safe while they feather the lines. We switching the narrative all the time. Like who to go in the game is not MJ. Kobe Bryant top 10, not what we say. Hakeem Olajuwon is very overrated. Keep it real if it ain't fact, we don't say it. Now it's stable, we won't be ignored. We number 1 especially when coming to sports. FYF bringing the heat here, of course. When everything backed up with actual source. Everything backed up with actual source. Yeah, we done came from the bottom, mad that we up, but I don't hear him talking. Started with knowledge inside of my noggin. We took a dream and then we started vlogging. Put my city on the map now. I'ma say how it is and I don't back down. On the road to 100K, we finna act out. We gon' show them that we not just in the background. We the main event, we the main show. We the one that people always gonna pay for. FYF, we the best, no debate though. Number 1 sports channel, every angle. I'ma show them all how we ride. Best sports talk show, we not like them guys. We playing it safe while they feather the lines. We pushing the narrative all the time. Like who to go in the game is not MJ. Kobe Bryant top 10, not what we say. Hakeem Olajuwon is very overrated. Keep it real if it ain't fact, we don't say it. Now it's stable, we won't be ignored.
Missing the lake, I'm missing the draws again, a hell of pain. I got a lot to deal with and my mind is kinda slipping away. What's on the line, I made up my mind, some shit I'll just taste it at great. Whatever it is, whatever it was, it's never gonna be the same. How do I explain what's been going on with me? You say that I changed, but you didn't know the old me. I think that I saved you, tell me who gon' save me. I'm way too fucked up in this club, I'm ashamed, baby. You say that I changed, but you ain't really know me. When I'm around my dogs, girl, they just can't control me. Tryna spend my time right, using every second of it. Tryna spend my time right, using every second of it. Before it's too late, girl, before it's too late. Can I speak my mind right, girl, before it's too late. I've been moving backwards, rolling up the backwards. Out of being backstab, do you have my back, girl, before it's too late? Can I say my piece, girl? You know what you mean to me. You just keep it real with me. I've been moving backwards, rolling up the backwards. Every time I'm backstab, missing the liquor, I'm missing the drugs again, a hell of pain. I got a lot to deal with and my mind is kinda slipping away. What's on the line? I made up my mind, some shit I'll just taste it great. Whatever it is, whatever it was, it's never gonna be the same. Folding again and I'm running the map. They say the best defense is just to attack. Hopping through too much, it's hard to attach. All this going on is being hard to relax. Gotta get up, gotta get it again. They ain't get the message, we spinning again. I feel my back, I'm just leaving it in. Get what they want, then they leaving again. I cannot act like this ain't nothing new. Been getting smarter with all I've been through. Nowadays, I'm more rewarding than truth. Tired of keeping it G just to lose. Let it all out when I step in the booth. We're there for some months, now it's time to recruit. Met the investments, it's time to recoup. It's time to recoup, but how do I explain what's been going on with me? You say that I changed, but you didn't know the old me. I think that I saved you. Tell me who gon' save me? I'm way too fucked up in this club. I'm ashamed, baby. You say that I changed, but you ain't really know me. When I'm around my dogs, girl, you just can't control me. Trying to spend my time right, using every second of it. Trying to spend my time right, using every second of it. Before it's too late, girl, before it's too late. Can I speak my mind right now before it's too late? I've been moving backwards, rolling up the backwards. Every time I'm backstabbed, Shawty, you know I gotta let it go sometimes. Gotta clear my head sometimes. I gotta get away some shawty. You know I just need a little peace of mind. Specifically, I'm talking about your mind. I gotta get that ass on. Calling you when I'm overseas, let me know what you need, what you wanna do when I'm home. Popping real dirty, real nasty on the phone. Girl, stop playing, I'm on the way. I am on the way. Girl, stop playing, I am on the way. What you need, what you wanna do, baby girl. I'm all ears for you, baby girl. Drop it down in the latest fashion, girl. All the shit I did, that's past tense, girl. Do it up before you, what's your passion, girl? Got the lyrics to my songs and your cash in, girl. Leave that boy alone, he everlasting, girl. Everything he did on a passive, girl. Spent up 20 grand, that's excessive, girl. I bought a whole mall if you ask me, girl. Bought a whole mall if you ask me, girl. Got the lyrics to my songs and your cash in, girl. Leave that boy alone, we everlasting, girl. Everything he did, I don't pass him, girl. Spent up 20 grand, that's excessive, girl. I bought a whole mall if you ask me, girl. Yo, shawty, sometimes, gotta clear my head sometimes. I gotta get away some shawty. You know I just need a little peace of mind. Specifically, I'm talking about your mind. I gotta get that ass on. Sometimes, gotta clear my head sometimes. I gotta get away some shawty. You know I just need